Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't freeze as it gets colder. If your furnace isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in your comfort zone fast with a service call for only $99. Get your furnace serviced. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hello, happy birthday party day. Good to be with you on this Thursday, October 23rd on 97.1 FM Talk. There's a lot to talk about. At 12:18, we're going to speak with Cully Stimson of the Heritage Foundation and get to the bottom of a gigantic bombshell sort of situation that came out of the NBA earlier today. The FBI, man, we keep popping up with these big projects that they've been working on, and they're bearing quite a lot of fruit. The investigations are.
It's a little surprising when something like this shows up because it's not on anybody's radar. If they did a press conference and they say, oh, here comes something big. You would never guess they busted up an NBA gambling ring.
So Fox News reports right now at foxnews.com, Ryan Morick and Ryan Gatos have collaborated on this report. Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry, how do you say his last name? Rozier? Ethan, come here. I need your help. Ethan. And former NBA guard coach Damon Jones were among the more than 24 arrested as part of a widespread FBI investigation on Thursday. The federal investigation involved multiple agencies and the NYPD as they targeted the La Cosa Nostra crime families. This is crime family stuff. Involves the Italians. Crime families in two separate operations across several states. Officials said that those names mentioned face charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Kash Patel said, day in and day out, this FBI is following the money, and today is the result of that outstanding work. The operation involved an expansive effort across 11 states, arresting 34 subjects, including multiple NBA players and coaches, who allegedly took advantage of their own positions of power to rig gambling systems for their own benefit, eventually funding money to La Cosa Nostra, that crime family, enriching some of the most notorious criminal networks in the world.
It's just crazy. It's amazing this stuff still happens because in theory, it's probably happening. But you never hear that they've busted it. And now here we are.
Patel says that ends today, and the FBI's efforts to make sure gambling operations of all kinds stay within the law are only beginning. Thank you to the outstanding men and women of the FBI who pursued this case and followed the acts accordingly. The league apparently has been cooperating and participating and agreeing to whatever needs to be done in order to get to the bottom of this. How long does it take something like this to recover? It's not the same, but the strike of 1994 in baseball took a long time for baseball to recover. A lot of people credit the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa home run race to 62 as one of the things that just captivated people back into the game of baseball. But, we were joking about in Ethan's Sports and Local segment in the 2 o'clock hour earlier this week, maybe even yesterday. It was 2 days ago, maybe, where he was talking about, the NBA, if you're looking for a team to root for, and he gave us a bunch of local kids who are now grown men playing in the NBA. I just don't care about the NBA. This isn't devastating for me. But if it were Major League Baseball and I found out that the Cardinals were somehow wrapped up in this, it would be devastating.
Yeah, but I'm going to make a weird prediction here and say that there is almost no fall off for the NBA. I think that it'll be something that's talked about for a long time, but it may even benefit the NBA to get the attention because there's just so much stuff that, a strike in 93 or whatever it was, that caused everybody to kind of walk away from the game. There's just so much other stuff going on in the world now that I just don't know if anything holds people's attention that long. If they can hold a grievance that long that's not deeply personal.
Is everything fake?
I don't know. Maybe.
Isn't that one of the detriments of this, is that it turns into a scenario where you kind of feel like, I don't really trust anything. Can
Yes.
anything really be real? I mean, reality TV was presumed to be real for a minute until it wasn't. And now it's all super scripted and everything. It's just very much a shocking, not shocking
Yeah.
situation for me.
I will say that because it's the NBA, to me, that is a little more interesting because it's not as if you never heard about this happening, maybe in the NFL, certainly in Major League Baseball, that you've heard that people might be gambling. Shohei Ohtani's name gets thrown around with that, with his agent or whatever, even recently.
Yeah, that happened. That just happened.
Exactly. So it's not as if you never hear this stuff. It's just, this is a very big ring, and it involves a crime family, multiple crime families. So it's a big story, of course, big deal. It's been going on for a long time, apparently. But in basketball, doesn't it seem like you could affect the outcome by just a couple points more than if you're in baseball or hockey where there's less scoring?
Here's Cash Patel.
Individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchesi crime families.
Crime families, NBA, betting on sports. This story has it all.
I guess logistically, I don't quite understand why, if you're an NBA player and you wanted to make some money on your game, you'd need to do it with a crime family.
One of the things that was, I think Clay Travis was talking about this on Fox News this morning, is that the Rozier dude, I think he left the game going in 9 minutes or something, like faked an injury or whatever. The whole payout for that instance was like $200,000. The dude is worth like 3 figures of millions of dollars.
Wow.
And Clay Travis is like, this isn't even smart crime. It's kind of his takeaway. Like, why? What? Do you know numbers? What do you, And there are 2 separate charges too that go in here. One of them has to do with like the betting and throwing and gambling on the NBA games. But there are also some super shady, illegal poker games that were taking place. They'd get high-profile NBA players to come play at these tables, and then they had all of these like super high-tech Ocean's 11 type of ways to make sure that the poker game always went the right way or the wrong way or whatever. Like, what? This isn't cool. This is not cool. I'm not implying in any way, shape, or form that this is cool. But, like, what's the most exciting thing that's happened to you in the last 10 years? It doesn't even scratch the surface to getting roped into, like, a bazillion-dollar poker game with the highest of the elites in the NBA to get swindled for $1 million+ dollars. Somebody lost, I heard this morning, someone lost $1.8 million in a fraudulent poker game.
Wow. Man, how much money do you have to have?
I'd be mad if I lost $18.
I'd be mad if I lost even $1 million.
Yes.
Let alone 1.8.
Especially if you had it first.
I know.
That would be super sad.
Yeah, if I had that million for a couple minutes and then it was gone, be more than that.
We're going to talk to Cully Stimson about that in just a couple minutes here. We're also watching the White House press briefing. Ryan, I'm going to propose to you, not like that the Wiggins America segment at 12:45, if the White House briefing kicks in here, I want to go to it. I want to listen to what Carolyn Levitt has to say about a few things. I want to hear what she has to say about the latest with the government shutdown. They're voting today to try to do some of the things we spoke on the show yesterday with Senator Hawley about funding the payment of certain particular federal workers, different specific things like that. They're trying to get that through. The word is, according to the Fox News report just that we heard just now, the Democrats are not going to vote to do that, but maybe some will. You never know that some people might be like, I can't vote against this. I'm not doing it. Okay, fine. I want to hear about that. I want to hear Karen Levitt talk about the ballroom. And I want to hear her talk about the crime, the ICE enforcement, the immigration update, because Lord knows they'll talk about all those issues. So I do want to hear from Carolyn Levitt when she takes the podium. We're going to talk to Cully Stimson first about this NBA situation and ask, like, is this only a story for people who are into the NBA? Because if Cully Stimson comes on here and is like, if you're not really like into sports betting or the NBA, this is probably the last you're going to hear of it. That's probably the last I'm going to talk of it. Is there a reason why we should dive deep into this? After that, Carolyn Levitt, and depending on how long that goes, your Wiggins America subject today is the 10 do's and don'ts of how to be a sports parent, and you and I have shared lament over the difficulties of being a sports parent.
Yeah, and this is a really good list, too.
I might do it. I might want it to be longer than the 5-minute conversation it might turn into at 12:45, so maybe in the 2 o'clock hour.
Your terms are acceptable if I can get a fudge round out of it. Double-decker.
Do we have them here?
I don't care. I need one.
Here's the thing. I'm not making a trip, but I'd happy to finance it. But first, we have to play a game of poker.
Okay.
So I can illegally take somebody's money. All right, let's take a quick break. Cully Stimson, a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, is going to join us next. We're going to get the latest on what Kash Patel and the NBA, what is this whole story about? And is this something that we need to care about outside of maybe being an NBA fan, maybe being into sports betting? There might be people listening right now who've lost money because they made a bet on the NBA that got thrown because somebody was in on the ruse. You ever bet on sports?
I'll do Super Bowl boards and stuff like that, but
like fundraiser boards.
Yeah. So no.
You don't have an app.
No.
All right, let's talk to Cully Stimson on the Annie Fry Show next.
Up against doubt in this world. And maybe you'll find something that's enough to keep you. But if the bright lights don't receive you, you should turn yourself around and come on home.
AirComfortService.com is the website. What's the wet temperature outside right now? It's a little bit chillier. It didn't seem as cold. It's in the upper 50s, low 60s today. So not quite that fall crisp that you walk out to and you go, oh my gosh, we've arrived. It's going to happen fast. And if you are interested in making sure your furnace is going to be in the best working order come this winter, now's the time to call Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091 and have them come out and do a tune-up on your furnace. You can avoid some costly repairs if you do the general maintenance that should be done on a regular basis. But I also want to encourage you to ask them about how they can help you improve not just the temperature in your home, but the quality of the air in your home. Indoor air quality is a really big deal. Working with Air Comfort Service, you can ensure that indoor air quality is monitored around the clock, around the year. They can put in a whole home humidifier to make sure that you have good, moist air to enjoy throughout the course of the day. But you can also have a whole home air purifier that will help relieve or eliminate allergy symptoms, pet dander, bacteria, viruses, odors, and more. 314-513-0091, online at aircomfortservice.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. December 7th. So go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
When you go shopping, you may not get the bargain you want, but at least you know and can compare prices. It should be that way with healthcare, but too often it's not. Need an operation on your knee? Want to know what it's going to cost? Good luck. For 3 years, hospitals have been required to provide patients with list prices and have negotiated charges for some 300 services. Just over a third are fully compliant. In Missouri, prices differ greatly depending on a patient's insurance. The cost of a pelvic CT scan, for example, can be 20 times more expensive in one hospital than another. Price transparency allows patients to compare providers, forces hospitals to compete on price, and helps insurers negotiate lower rates. State law should require all healthcare providers to publish prices in a user-friendly form. What we don't know is costing us. The price of healthcare shouldn't be a secret. Check out our 2025 blueprint, moving Missouri forward at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We appreciate you being with us this afternoon. We're looking forward to seeing all of you tonight at the 25th birthday celebration for the Conservative Heritage Talk Station here in St. Louis. We're so excited to be able to have 25 years to celebrate with you. And tonight, what time does the party start, Ryan, at Lit Cigar Lounge?
So I think it's 5, although I'm basing this on when we're getting there. So I'm pretty sure that it's 5.
Oh, so you just implied that the party starts when you arrive?
I think so.
Okay, fair. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll be there at 5. That's when everybody should get there.
I guess that's when I'll get there, too.
Unless it starts at 6.
Oh, gosh. But we'd love to see you, celebrate with you, and just generally hang out and have a good time. 971talk.com/events for actual information. Ryan, you should maybe start there.
Starts at 5.
Okay, thank you.
Confirmed.
Let's talk to our friend Cully Stimson, who is with us once again, Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, also a former local, state, federal, and military prosecutor. Cully, welcome back. Good to have you here on a Thursday afternoon.
Awesome to be with you.
So I wanted to ask you, this news kind of broke this morning. I wanted to ask you to kind of give us the lay of the land of what the FBI revealed today regarding this gambling ring, money laundering ring that has busted up. It has to do with crime families. It has to do with the NBA, illegal fraudulent poker games. When you read about this story, what can you tell us?
Well, it's an amazing indictment. I just read it within the hour, and it takes a long time to sort of digest what these NBA and Gambino crime family folks were doing. But in essence, this was the deal. They had poker games that were supposed to be just straight up poker games. And they would bring in these fancy pro basketball players to be playing against other mopes who didn't know that the games were rigged. But they had they had technologies that allow the cheating teams, who were some of the NBA players and others, to have the inside scoop on the cards. They would then dupe these unwitting players, get lots of money, and then pass the money on to the Gambino crime family. And then they would also place bets on games, and some of these players would coerce some of the other players who were not in on it, who gambled, to take a knee, to drop out of a game, to shove the game. So, look, cheating in pro sports is not new. I mean, you all remember Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose, and the Boston College stuff, and it goes way back. But this is really sophisticated stuff. And so I think just if you read the indictment alone, it's really confusing for a lawyer who hasn't done prosecutions, because this was really sophisticated. And my guess is, reading the news articles on it and listening to Kash Patel's press conference, they have thousands of hours of video, of wiretaps, of emails. And so I think people are going to start rolling really soon and trying to get the best deal they can.
That's going to become interesting. Here's my main question for you, Cully. Here in St. Louis, we don't have an NBA team. So there's not a close relationship to the NBA like there is professional baseball, soccer, hockey. We have a complicated relationship with the NFL here in St. Louis, of course. Do you find that this story is going to permeate the interests of the American people outside of those that are connected to the names, the actual literal players that have been involved in this? Is this story bigger than the league?
It's too early to tell, in my opinion, because I think this indictment is just the beginning, frankly, because when you see that the Bonanno and the Gambino and the Genovese crime families are involved, and then you add the extra bling of NBA players and coaches, just because right now we don't know, or at least don't think that there's any connection to professional athletes in St. Louis or other people, I bet you that the spider web of this indictment and this ripple effect of this indictment is going to touch a lot of players and people besides the named people in the indictment. So I think it's way too early to tell. And of course, betting on pro sports is nothing new. And getting caught illegally betting on pro sports when you're a pro athlete or a coach is not new. But this takes it to a whole new level when you're not doing it to gain money for yourself. You're doing it to you're funneling it through known mafia families who then essentially kneecap or coerce other players to rig games so people who are betting on games can have the upper hand. So this is much more sophisticated than the average mope who's trying to make money for himself.
And then one last follow-up question regarding the NBA story before we shift into something completely different. In your understanding, they're the people who are sitting down and playing those poker games. Those have to be high rollers. They're the very high stakes games in order for it to be worthy of that time. When we're talking about players who are involved in something, the separate charge of what was going on specifically with the NBA players, Rozier, who apparently took himself out of a game and faked an injury and stuff, does that mean that just people who, rando people here in the St. Louis bi-state region who could be betting on sports could have been affected by the way that players chose to play the game, chose to fake an injury? Like, could this have affected regular old people who were just betting because they thought it was fun?
Maybe. I don't know what the buy-in was for these games, but I think you had to probably put down a lot of money or have a lot of money available at your disposal. And the lure is, who wouldn't want to play golf with a great professional golfer? Who wouldn't want to kick a soccer ball with Ronaldo? Who wouldn't want to ski with one of the greatest pro skiers, et cetera? So this is a chance for some people to come in and sort of hobnob and rub elbows with famous NBA folks. I suspect the buy-in was, 50, 100, 200,000 at least. I know in the indictment, if you look at page 17 and 18, it talks about, minimum of $50,000 per game, but I don't know what the buy-in was. So I just think it's way too early. And these indictments just have a massive ripple effect, Annie, and we're going to see that ripple effect play out. And I think we're actually going to see people take themselves off of teams or find themselves injured for the rest of the season, quote unquote, as this thing starts playing out. Because people will start talking. Once they lawyer up, they're going to say, well, look at Ralphie over here. Look at Sam over here. Talk to him. I gave him all this stuff. So this is going to ripple big time.
Wow. All right. Well, we will continue to follow it. I want to shift gears here. Let's go to the Northwest, to Portland. Once again, we see Portland, Oregon, saying, no, Trump, we've got everything under control. There's nothing to see here. Everything is fine. And President Trump says, obviously, not everything is fine. He wants to send in the National Guard. They sue. They get the injunction or whatever the correct legal language is to stop the process that the president is engaging in. But now we have the Circuit Court of Appeals overturning that previous ruling once again. And President Trump is one step closer to sending the National Guard into Portland. That's from an Axios Portland report. Talk to me about the legal ping pong that takes place when the president is trying to mobilize the National Guard, uses federal ICE agents to enforce federal laws, specifically in places like Oregon, California, Chicago, and the like.
So we're seeing a spate of activist judges who clearly have a mild to moderate case of Trump derangement syndrome, who are issuing injunctions or stopping the president's policy preferences under the guise of the law. And they issue these injunctions, like in Portland, this district court judge, substituted her opinion for the facts in the case, which is what the appeals court said about this district court judge. You've seen it in Chicago. You keep seeing it. I just was with at an event with a senator who from Missouri, Senator Schmidt, who was talking about how, as of today, the Trump administration is 25-2 before the Supreme Court. 25 wins versus 2. Now, most of these are preliminary hearings, preliminary emergency motions on the emergency docket. But, I mean, you're just seeing across the board, Portland's a perfect example, where these district court judges just are not following the law and are basically writing opinions that are essentially their policy preference. And then appeals courts either get it right or it goes to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court says, no, you didn't apply the law, you didn't do this, and send it back down and reverses them. And this is going to continue until judges just call balls and strikes. I mean, of course the president has the authority as the commander-in-chief to use the National Guard to protect federal buildings and federal troops during the operation of federal law enforcement officers. Obviously, he has the authority to do that. He's not sending, like he has here in D.C., which is a different cat, them to be like extra policemen, which is, a violation of the Posse Comitatus Act. He's using it to protect federal buildings and federal law enforcement officers. And so any suggestion to the contrary is a policy suggestion and not a legal one.
Just your thoughts before we let you go. We're speaking with Cully Stimson, a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. You said 25-2 or 27-2. What was the number?
I thought it was 25-2 that I heard.
25-2.
Yep.
So you've got a president who's 25-2 and in winning those court cases. That's a pretty darn good record, I would say. A government shutdown where you have the president repeatedly saying, get the government open, trying to figure out how to fund things around Congress to make sure that our federal workers don't go unpaid. Just constitutionally speaking, legally speaking, I would feel like if President Trump were trying to act as though he were a king, that he'd be able to snap his fingers and open the government. He would be getting creamed in the courts for trying to do things that would go against the Constitution. Just in your opinion, how much of a monarchy are the people of this country suffering under right now?
None. Zero.
Period.
Nada. Period. We're in a democratic republic. Remember, the federal government was created by the states, not the other way around. And the people in the states have police power. The federal government has no police power, and the president, under our Constitution, is the commander-in-chief and the chief law enforcement officer. And so he's wearing that latter hat when he sees these dystopian hellholes like Chicago, like Philadelphia, which he hasn't gone to yet, but I think he should, Portland, like Memphis, where the local leaders aren't stepping up and protecting the people who deserve to be protected the most, especially minority neighborhoods. And so he's not going to let ICE agents and federal agents enforcing immigration laws or federal buildings, he's not going to let those ICE agents and federal agents be assaulted, and he's not going to let those federal buildings be destroyed. And so they can do their little no kings thing and all their silliness and dress up like weird pet animals. But what is the alternative? Where is the positive alternative policy proposals? Well, we saw it. We saw in the last administration. Open the border, don't enforce the laws, spy on Republicans, trample on the First Amendment. And the American people rejected that. Yeah. And the people who lost are having a massive hissy fit. And so they're acting out like a toddler who doesn't get a second scoop of ice cream. It's ridiculous.
Oh, the left and that president love ice cream. That is for certain. Cully Stimson, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it. We look forward to following up. A lot of things to discuss, and we're grateful you had some time for us today.
Thanks for having me.
Talk
Appreciate
to you again. Bye-bye. Cully Stimson is a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Carolyn Levitt is going to be taking the podium here shortly to give us the latest on a whole host of issues, I'm sure. We're going to carry that when it happens. We're going to take a quick break right now. On break, come join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel and vote in today's YouTube live chat poll. Do political endorsements persuade you to vote for a particular candidate? Yes, significantly. Yes, somewhat. Not usually, or never. You ever hear these big endorsements they hit, and then it's like, and now what am I supposed to do? Dramatically change my mind? We want to know what you think. Carolyn Levitt with us in the press briefing next. Don't go away. TheDittamoreGroup.com. Please reach out to Tammy Dittamore and her fantastic team of Zach, Pat, Abby, and Trisha. They've got decades and decades and decades and decades and decades of experience listing your home in an ever-changing market. They're at the forefront. They know where the twists, the turns, and the bends are happening, and they can position you for a top sale with that knowledge and experience that they have, both in Illinois and in Missouri. The number one team and the number one office in the Metro East with RE/MAX Alliance. Buying and selling is made simple as it can be in real estate, when you partner up with the Dittamore Group. The number to reach directly out to Tammy to just start the conversation about listing your home. You don't have to be imminent. You could be considering it. 618-531-4652. That's 618-531-4652. The Dittamore Group has the team, the experience, the know-how, and I'm going to be honest, the kindness to make this a very positive outcome for you. So don't hesitate. Call 618-531-4652, thedittamoregroup.com.
Stop just trying to paint and patch up the outside of your home. It's time to give it a permanent upgrade with James Hardie fiber cement siding from Lakeside Renovation and Design. This siding is designed to stand up to all the crazy weather we get here in Missouri, and it looks fantastic. Lakeside is a James Hardie elite preferred contractor. Whole team, by the way, is in-house, and they're going to take care of all the details, the color, the trim, everything to customize it to your home, to take the stress off of your plate. If your home is showing any signs of wear, it's time to take the next step. Visit lakesiderd.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One question I'm always asked is, how did you become the largest injury firm in the world with over 1,000 attorneys and $25 billion in verdicts and settlements? One way was our financial strength. Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. To prosecute a typical case costs up to $250,000 in case cost. We advance them all. Product liability cases can have similar costs with an army of lawyers on the other side. Automobile insurance companies have the resources to fight. Guess what? So do we. Many law firms simply may not have the financial firepower to work up your case the way you deserve. And we don't charge by the hour. No recovery, no fee. If you have a question about your case or wish to become a client, go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer. 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey St. Louis, the MLS Next Pro playoffs are here. Join us at Energizer Park as number one seed St. Louis City 2 continue their run for the MLS Next Pro Cup. See the future of City SC soccer when City 2 take on Minnesota United 2 in the Western Conference semifinals this Sunday, October 26th at 5 p.m. Face painting, player autographs, and fun for the whole family. Tickets are only $16. Get yours now at stlcitysc.com/tickets.
We're looking forward to our anniversary party tonight. 25 years old. We just turned this month, so that's pretty cool in radio to be 25 years old and still going strong. Here, 97.1 FM Talk, celebrating tonight at Lit Cigar Lounge. Live broadcast, so even if you can't be there, you can listen from 3 to 6. We'll all be there. I think Annie's going to be talking on the radio. That's kind of a weird thing, isn't it? She doesn't do that very much.
Okay.
Live music.
With Mark Reardon.
With
and
Mark
Reardon.
Reardon. Yeah, of course. I'm just mentioning you because you're here.
There's some really cool names that I heard are going to be there tonight, like old-timey 97.1 names that I'm very, very excited to see.
I've heard rumors, but I can't confirm any of them.
Yeah.
I literally can't because I don't know. They're just rumors. Music from Pretty Weeds and Guns N' Hoses ticket giveaway on site. So it's going to be a lot of fun at Lit Cigar Lounge tonight starting at 5 o'clock. And, of course, you can listen even if you're not going to be there because we'll be live broadcast. 12:37 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up. Alex Rich here checking in, and you may hear me putting up with Mark Reardon every Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. And I am so excited to celebrate 25 years of 97.1 FM Talk. Cheers to 25 more years ahead.
Celebrating 25 years of 97.1 in St. Louis.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
We called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
they came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
TheDiamondShop.net in Clayton. That's where you go walking in person. But if you want to start your shopping, maybe your holiday shopping, it's time. A little bit sooner, you can go online and just peruse right now while you're on your lunch break. Come on, you know you want to. Sign up to be a VIP. When you're a VIP at the Diamond Shop, you're going to get access to special savings, discounts, opportunities to get a little extra something when they run those specials when you make purchases at the Diamond Shop. They do a lot at the Diamond Shop. Of course, when you walk in, you're going to see the beautiful things and the sparkly, the cases there are so well lit, the different colors, the vibrance of the items that they have readily available for you to purchase. Stunning. But they also do a lot more than just what they have in stock and in the case right now. They do custom jewelry. They do jewelry and watch repair, appraisals. They even buy gold. If you are looking for a wide selection of engagement and wedding rings, fine jewelry, even watches, the Diamond Shop is waiting for you to come in. Tell them I said hi. Say hi from Annie. Sign up to be a VIP on the website and make the Diamond Shop your family jeweler. Online at thediamondshop.net.
Live, local, and conservative. It's the Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
So Carolyn Levitt has taken to the podium here, and she is giving us an update on a whole host of things. Let's listen in and see what she has to say here.
We'll begin today with some scheduling announcements for President Trump's upcoming trip to Asia. Tomorrow night at 11 p.m., the president will depart the White House to fly to Malaysia, where he will arrive on Sunday morning local time. It's a long flight. President Trump will participate in a bilateral meeting with the Prime Minister of Malaysia in the afternoon, and then he will attend the ASEAN Leaders Working Dinner that evening. On Monday morning local time, the president will fly to Tokyo. Tuesday morning local time, President Trump will participate in a bilateral meeting with the new Prime Minister of Japan. On Wednesday morning local time, the president will fly to Busan, where he will participate in a bilateral meeting with the President of the Republic of Korea, deliver keynote remarks at the APEC CEO luncheon, and then participate in a U.S. APEC Leaders Working Dinner. On Thursday morning local time, President Trump will participate in a bilateral meeting with President Xi of the People's Republic of China before departing to return home to Washington, D.C. On Thursday night, upon arrival in Washington, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump will participate in Halloween at the White House, where they will welcome law enforcement, military, and foster families. And I know many of us look forward to that. In other news, we are now on day 23 of the Democrat government shutdown. Senate Democrats have voted 12 separate times now to keep the government closed. Innocent Americans are suffering every day as a result. More than 500,000 civilian federal employees will miss a full paycheck tomorrow. Thousands of small business loans are going unapproved each month. This means almost $4 billion in capital is being withheld from small businesses across the country. The Democrat shutdown is also causing severe impacts at airports across the country. In one single day this week, the FAA had to issue ground stops impacting flights at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport and Hobby Airport. 13,000 air traffic controllers who ensure that we all fly safely are continuing to work without pay. This is egregious and truly sad. Some of them are reportedly being forced to turn to driving for Uber and taking on other second jobs to make ends meet as the Democrats continue to shut down the government. Pilots are calling on Democrats to end this dangerous political game. The president of the Southwest Airlines Pilot Association called for the clean continuing resolution to be passed, saying, quote, "Our air traffic controllers and the broader air traffic system are already operating under immense pressure. A government shutdown only compounds that stress and threatens the efficiency of our skies." The Airline Pilots Association International, which represents more than 80,000 pilots, is sounding the alarm as well. They said this shutdown is undermining our system's safety. Resources are stretched thin, negotiations are delayed, and strain grows daily. With the Thanksgiving holiday approaching, we are nearing the busiest travel period of the entire year, when millions of Americans will go to airports to spend time with their loved ones. Let us be very clear from the White House today. If the Democrats continue to keep the government closed, we fear there will be significant flight delays, disruptions, and cancellations in major airports across the country this holiday season. If Democrats continue to shut down the government, they will also be shutting down American air travel. The White House is in constant communication with the air traffic controllers, with the airline associations, and with them, we urge Democrats to please pass the continuing resolution so we can just end this madness and this chaos and reopen the government. These are very avoidable consequences. The unnecessary pain, unfortunately, does not end there. Funding for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP, which provides food benefits to low-income families, is beginning to lapse this week in some states. If Democrats continue to hold Americans hostage, there will not be enough funds to provide SNAP benefits for more than 40 million Americans on November 1st. That is next week. Democrats are solely responsible for all of this unnecessary pain. Why are they doing it? To give taxpayer-funded health care benefits to illegal aliens, some of whom are violent criminals. During the 4 years of Joe Biden's administration, the Democrats forced Border Patrol to admit illegal aliens into our country with no legal status and minimal screening. A significant number of these individuals are the worst of the worst criminals: rapists, pedophiles, murderers, and even members of the terrorist watch list. Despite having no legal status, paroled aliens were able to file for work authorization, receive Social Security numbers, and access other benefits like Medicaid that are meant for Americans. Since I've found many in this room to repeatedly deny the reality that Democrats gave Medicaid benefits to illegals, and they continue to seek to do just that, I've brought a few verified examples for you today. These are examples of some of the illegals who received Medicaid benefits under President Biden's leadership, and this is what Democrats are wanting to do. This is why they are continuing to keep the government closed. An illegal alien from Laos was arrested for murder, robbery, and felony possession of a firearm. An illegal alien from Guatemala who was arrested for rape and burglary. An illegal alien from El Salvador who was arrested for strangulation, DUI, and burglary. An illegal alien from Mexico who was arrested for attempted murder. The Democrats' open border policies allowed these threats into our country, and then they provided them with free health care. The president and Republicans, through the One Big Beautiful Bill, implemented a common sense reform to end this fraudulent scheme. But that's why the Democrats are continuing to shut down the federal government. They are trying to reverse this and restore taxpayer-funded health care for illegal aliens like these. Throughout this shutdown, Democrats have said this quiet part out loud. Senator Chuck Schumer, the leader of the caucus that is refusing to open the government, said, quote, "Every day gets better as the shutdown continues." Ask the air traffic controllers if every day is getting better, Senator Schumer, and they will tell you absolutely not. House Democrat Catherine Clark said, "There are going to be families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility seriously, but this is one of the few leverage points that we have." Here is a House Democrat who is admitting that they are using Americans who are suffering as political leverage. And Senator Bernie Sanders said, "If you reopen the government, we lose our leverage." This is pure partisan games. A senior Democrat aide said the party will not end the shutdown, quote, "short of planes falling out of the sky." That is truly a disturbing statement. The Democrats clearly don't care about this suffering. They care about playing political games against President Trump, and this dangerous charade needs to end. The president and Republicans' position has been clear and unchanged. Pass a clean, nonpartisan funding bill to reopen the government. and then we can talk about all of the partisan issues that the Democrats wish to. If you're watching at home, we urge you to call your Democrat senators and tell them to put our country over their party and reopen the government today. Here in our new media seat, we have Brittany Gibson of Axios. Brittany, why don't you start us off for our Q&A today? Thank you for being here.
Two questions, if I may, Caroline. First is, we understand that the president and Republicans will not negotiate on ACA extensions until the government reopens. If and when that happens, what does the president think should be, or what are his plans for preventing rising healthcare costs for Americans?
It's a very good question, and I'll leave that to the president to negotiate that when Democrats vote to reopen the government. When it comes to lowering healthcare costs, the president is deeply committed to this. It's why he has spent so much time and effort negotiating with Big Pharma to lower the healthcare costs of prescription drugs. All of you have been in the Oval Office for multiple different announcements. We've had these most favored nations deals with these large pharmaceutical companies committing to lowering drug costs in this country. So it's something the president wants to do. And Brittany, one more point. I'll just point out the irony in Democrats holding the government and the American public hostage over a healthcare system that they created. The healthcare system was called Obamacare. Why? Because Democrats and President Obama implemented. And Republicans have always said it's a broken system, yes, but they caused it, and now they want to shut down the government to fix it. We need to open the government, and then we can have these very important conversations about healthcare.
The second, on H-1Bs and foreign students, during the campaign, President Trump said he wanted to make it easier for foreign students to work at U.S. companies, staple a green card to every diploma. But the changes from several agencies now on H-1Bs are adding more obstacles to that. The administration is being sued over those changes. Can you explain the changes in the president's thinking on H-1Bs?
Administration will fight these lawsuits in court. The president's main priority has always been to put American workers first, and also to strengthen our visa system. We know for far too long the H-1B visa system has been spammed with fraud, basically, and that's driven down American wages. So the president wants to refine this system, which is part of the reason he implemented these new policies. These actions are lawful, they are necessary, and we'll continue to fight this battle in court. Garrett.
Two questions on different topics, if you'll
Sure.
indulge me. On the pardon of Changpeng Zhao, and apologies if I'm mispronouncing that name, Binance has significant business interests with World Liberty Financial, the president's family's crypto company. How do you respond to the allegations from Democrats that this is a corrupt act?
I would respond and say the president is exercising his constitutional authority to grant clemency requests. And the president and the White House have a very thorough examination of every pardon request that comes to the president's desk. It is thoroughly reviewed by the White House Counsel Office, and I spoke with our great White House counsel about the pardon after it happened. This was an overly prosecuted case by the Biden administration. Even the judge in the case admitted that the Biden administration was pursuing a egregious over-sentencing of this individual, and the previous administration was very hostile to the cryptocurrency industry. So the president wants to correct this overreach of the Biden administration's misjustice, and he exercised his constitutional authority to do so. And to the Democrats, I would just say there's nothing more corrupt than what President Biden did on his way out the door, pardoning his extremely corrupt son and many of his associates.
On the ballroom, the first of which will probably be several questions about this today, I imagine.
Is it a big story?
It seems that way. The president's cost estimate has changed several times. I think it's up to $300 million now. Given the nature of all this, will the White House commit to releasing all of the donors and how much they're spending and how much of his own money the president is putting on the line to this?
We have released the full list of donors thus far. Perhaps there will be more people who want to generously contribute to this project. And the president, yes, has committed his own resources. And when he releases that information, which I'm very confident he will, you will all see that.
We'll see a dollar figure from the president?
Yes, you will. And I would also just add the president has been incredibly transparent. I would reject any notion otherwise when it comes to this ballroom project. It's something he personally has obviously taken an interest into and has talked with all of you in this room many times about. You have seen the model in the Oval Office. Last night he showed that for you. But when this plan was presented and when these renderings, as soon as they were complete, the president directed me to come out here and to share them with all of you. I did an entire opening remarks about what this ballroom project was going to look like. With any construction project, there are changes over time as you assess what the project is going to look like, and we'll continue to keep you apprised of all of those changes, but just trust the process. This is going to be a magnificent addition to the White House for many years to come, and it's not costing the taxpayers anything. The president is privately funding this ballroom addition to the White House grounds. Jennifer.
To follow up on that, one thing that's not in the president's model is the East Wing bunker, the president's emergency operations center. Can you say if his update, that $300 million, does that include the cost for upgrading that bunker?
Look, like any security enhancements that are made on the White House grounds, those will be made and maintained by United States Secret Service. As for the cost of the ballroom and the construction itself, all of that is going to be, like I've said, privately funded and paid for by the president himself and many generous patriots who have stepped up.
Included in that funding?
Correct.
Okay, and then can you say, well, that's right, I'll skip that one.
Thanks, Ouija.
So the White House has explained that the reason you didn't submit construction plans to the NCPC is because that commission, along with others, don't have oversight over demolitions, but only over construction. And so far, you haven't built anything. So can you help us understand, can the president tear down anything he wants without oversight? Could he demolish this building or, say, the Jefferson Memorial?
So it's not the president who came up with that legal opinion himself. That's a legal opinion that's been held by the NCPC for many years. It's written, so we can get you that background and that research if you wish to include it in your reporting, because it is very important. They have ruled consistently, their general counsel has said, when it comes to phase one of this project, the tearing down of the current East Wing structure, a submission is not required legally for that. Only for vertical construction will a submission be required, and that's a legal opinion from them, and we are following that legal opinion. And again, I would just add, can any president do such a thing to the White House grounds? There have been many presidents in the past who have made their mark on this beautiful White House complex. This briefing room, as you all know, was not once a briefing room. It was a swimming pool. There have been presidents who have completely torn down the executive mansion. If you look at what President Truman did, some of the photos of the construction project that took place in those years, I think sitting here today, we're all grateful for those efforts and the modifications that happened at that time. And again, in due time, the East Wing is going to be more beautiful and modern than ever before, and in addition, there will be a big, beautiful ballroom that can hold big parties and state visits for generations to come.
So I was waiting for her to say there, it can hold a big, beautiful ballroom, multiple events.
That was specific wording. Big, beautiful ballroom. That'll be be highlighted.
You know the president is going to say big, beautiful balls at some point.
You think he will?
Yes.
I don't know.
He's going to hear it, and he's going to want to say it first. He needs to say it with a certain kind of cadence, which makes it they're eating the cats and the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
My kids, that somebody played the clip from that debate or whatever, the clip, not the remix auto-tune song, and my kids sang the whole song. I don't expose them to this. I was at a volleyball practice last year one time, and all the kids were singing They're Eating the Cats and the Dogs of the people who live there, or something like that.
If we didn't have a real guest coming up, we should play that song.
Larry Alex Taunton, he would be amused by it. I know that
Would he?
for sure. Larry Alex Taunton, one of my favorite guests we have here on the Annie Fry Show, host of Ideas Have Consequences. We're going to talk Antifa, because what the left is saying is Antifa, these are not the radical socialists you're looking for. That doesn't even exist. But Larry Alex Taunton knows how to explain that it certainly does. He's next.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
RetirementKey.com is the website. You can go visit there, and I don't want you to skip what I'm about to say, but you can dive deep into what I'm about to say when you visit the Retirement Advisory Group's website. Get acquainted with Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, Tammy Kershaw, and visit retirementkey.com to learn more about how you can protect your retirement. I'm talking to you folks who are on that bubble. You're right at that place where retirement is next. It's what's up next, and you are so excited about it, but you've also got trepidation about it. Is it going to be enough? Did I do enough? Did I save enough? Did I sacrifice enough? You know you've worked your tail off to get here. Now you need a plan to make sure that it is as successful as you hoped it would always be. If you're worried about losing your nest egg in the next market correction, if you want to make sure that you're going to have your money last throughout the course of the retirement of your dreams, call 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494 and schedule your no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. It's the Retirement Advisory Group at retirementkey.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Demolition at the White House. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. The East Wing is gone as part of President Trump's plan to build a ballroom, which originally included modernizing the East Wing.
Trust the process. This is going to be a magnificent addition to the White House for many years to come, and it's not costing the taxpayers anything. The president is privately funding this ballroom addition to the White House grounds.
Spokeswoman Caroline Levitt holding up photos of previous White House projects in decades past while emphasizing a previous legal opinion that demolition can happen even when construction plans have not yet been submitted. The president calls off a crackdown, just confirming that a federal surge planned for Saturday in San Francisco will not go forward after a phone call last night with the San Francisco mayor and, the president says, with friends of his, telling him the mayor is making progress on fighting crime. President Trump says federal agents can work more quickly and remove criminals the law does not permit the city to remove, a possible reference to immigration enforcement. But he says the city wants to give it a shot, adding, stay tuned. Before their call, the mayor had publicly condemned sending federal agents. A basketball Hall of Famer heads to federal court. Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups, one of more than 30 people charged in 2 indictments, one claiming illegal sports betting, the other a scheme to rig underground mafia-backed poker games.
The years of investigative work that culminated with this morning's operation seem reminiscent of a Hollywood movie.
Homeland Security Special Agent Ricky Patel says arrests were made early today in 9 states. Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier face money laundering and wire fraud conspiracy counts. The NBA says both are being put on leave from their teams. A players' union spokesperson says the integrity of the game and presumption of innocence are hindered with player popularity misused. America's listening to Fox News.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Tons of sunshine going through our Thursday afternoon. The winds are light. That's something different. 66 for the high. Tonight, clear skies. 50s this evening. 41 for the nippy overnight low. Friday, increasing clouds, but a dry day. A chilly day. 60 degrees. Nothing more than a couple of spotty showers Friday night and over the weekend. Do not expect much in the way of rain. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Agitators.
Who are they?
Well,
and where's the money coming from? Is it foreign entities?
Yeah, you're going to find out, and we're going to find out in great detail. And it surprised me that Biden wouldn't have done it, because it really became hot over the last 3-4 years. It surprised me that Biden wouldn't do it. But then as I got to know him, first of all, he didn't call the shots. He wasn't calling the shots. But as we got to see what was happening in Biden's group, Antifa plays perfectly for them, absolutely perfectly. But it's a terrorist organization, in my opinion, and we're going to find out. All those questions are going to be answered.
President Trump speaking with Martha McCallum just about a month ago regarding Antifa being designated a terrorist organization. Now, after the No Kings protest took place this past weekend, and we've seen, a lot of people with their eyebrows raised around what's going on in Portland. If you've watched any of those videos from Nick Sorter, among other people who are reporting largely on X, a lot of people on the left are saying, Antifa, this is not even a thing. Like, take me to their headquarters. That's what Carville was just saying on a clip that I saw last night on Jesse Waters. Like, take me to the leader. I want to punch their leader in the face. Take me to the person in charge of Antifa. Implying this is a figment of the right's imagination. Well, we are going to talk to Larry Alex Taunton now. I'm so excited to have him back here on the show, host of Ideas of Consequences, the #1 YouTube channel that you need to follow, because you have done a deep dive on the reality of Antifa. Larry, welcome back to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
How are you, Annie Fry?
Good, now that I'm talking to you, Larry. You've got the receipts. You went to an Antifa meeting? Explain to me your experience here, your up-close and personal understanding of Antifa.
Well, let's just say that this was Antifa light. This was Antifa light. These were the sorts of individuals that Alexander Solzhenitsyn might have called little lambs. That is to say, I didn't picture any of the people that I was listening to at this particular meeting didn't strike me as the sort who were going to, turn over cop cars and set them on fire. But radicalizing of America's youth starts somewhere, and Charlie Kirk's assassin probably began in a place much like this. And it was fascinating. It was supposedly, kind of open to anybody who wanted to attend. I went, not to confront, not to argue, but just to do what I do every year at the World Economic Forum, and that's just sit and listen. Now, I must say, Annie, there were several times I had to bite my tongue because there were things said that I wanted to respond to, but I thought, no, I really just want to be a fly on the wall here and listen.
There has to be a charter for these groups. There has to be a foundational cause that Antifa is trying to achieve or accomplish, at least enough to get people that feel a certain type of way to be as passionate about whatever that cause is, to act in the way that we've seen Antifa act over the course of the last at least decade. Have you been able to pin down what that
a couple of
cause
my
is?
takeaways, Annie, were first of all that they kept speaking of making a difference, wanting to make a difference. I detected with this group, and I'm not generalizing out to, all Antifa, but I sensed a genuine social conscience, a desire to quote unquote make a difference. Now, where we would disagree is in the details of what that meant. For them, it meant addressing what I regard as a fictitious racism. It meant addressing, a fictitious suppression of people with an alternate, and I would say perverse, sexual lifestyle, who are bitter and interpret the fact that there are many people like me, let's say, who don't want anything to do with their lifestyle. They take that as some kind of oppression rather than the fact that people just say, no, I'm not interested in, in playing your games, and I'm not going to enter into your fantasy world. But another thing that I picked up on this, Annie, is, I'm a father. I'm a father of four. And much of my career has been spent speaking on college campuses, universities, engaging with that age group demographic and, high schoolers. And what I came away with was also a sense of sadness that these are individuals who are longing for purpose. They're longing for purpose. They're longing for meaning. They're longing to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And when their parents don't introduce them to it, or their teachers don't introduce them to it, then they end up dropping anchor in what I call, isms, feminism, environmentalism, atheism, these kinds of things. And they seek their purpose there among a group of like-minded people.
That's amazing. That's deep. And I appreciate that, because as we speak here with Larry Alex Taunton of the Ideas Have Consequences podcast, definitely check out his YouTube channel. I hear you saying that there might be I don't know if innocent might be the right word, sense of altruism, and maybe the people who show up to participate because they're seeking purpose, they're seeking meaning. But I fear that at the same time, the knowledge that there is a base group of individuals who are looking for this sense of belonging, that there is an entity out there that is taking advantage, especially of young people seeking this out. I'm wondering if in your research and your study, maybe your experience here, if you've found that to be the case.
Yeah, I do find that to be the case. Listen, since time immemorial, youth have been the shock troops of every revolution. They're the cannon fodder. They're the people who are radicalized and sent forth, to pillage, kill, and destroy. And that's no different here. It's no different with Antifa. It's no different with, with BLM. It's, our youth. And this really speaks to the much larger problem of the radicalizing of America's youth, generally by people in the academic world. So we all saw the images of this morbidly obese, incredibly unattractive woman in Chicago who was mimicking, mocking the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Well, it turns out she's an elementary school teacher, and guess where she's an elementary school teacher? At Nathan Hale Elementary School. Nathan Hale, who said, "I regret that I have but one life to give for my country." Now you have someone like that teaching elementary school children. And a lot of young people are being subjected to this kind of radicalizing, ideology from, elementary school straight on up through their university years. And so it's no wonder that many of them should come out and think, I hear them throwing around, terms like fascism and Nazis and stuff like this all the time. And such was the case in this little group meeting, where I want to stop them, raise my hand and say, "Excuse me, could someone here give me a definition of fascism? What's the difference between that and, a Nazi? What's the difference between that and, socialists or communists or Marxists?" I don't think I would get a reasonable answer to that.
The last conversation that you and I had, Larry, was about fascism and who are the fascists. And to be able to label who the fascists are, you have to know what fascists do and what they want. Let's revisit that right now. These are supposed to be anti-fascists. That's where Antifa comes from. What is fascism, and how are these people proposing that they're against it?
Well, it's interesting, Annie, you say that. When I was walking into the studio for this interview, I was thinking, what was the last time I talked to Annie? I was in Berlin.
Yes.
I was in Berlin. I remember sitting on my sofa in my hotel room and, that kind of generic background. But it's interesting that you mentioned that, because while I was there, just to share a little story, I took a tour with a guy who grew up in the GDR, that is to say in East Germany, specifically East Berlin. And you would have enjoyed his tour. I certainly did. I don't recall Trump ever coming into the conversation, but he was talking about, Nazi Germany that his parents were under, and then living in the GDR under the oppression of that communist government. And it was a delightful day, touring around. Then maybe a month later, I get a text from him asking me if I voted for Trump. And I said, yes, is that a problem? And he replied, it might be. And then this past week, about another month has passed, I get a rant from him, about 4 a.m. his time. So I'm thinking maybe some alcohol might have been involved, but it is this lengthy text that is sheer nonsense about the tyranny of Trump. And I thought, this is such a picture of the effectiveness of propaganda. But you might have thought someone who grew up in the shadow of Nazism, of the propaganda of Joseph Goebbels, which was so effective in Germany in convincing people that, Jews were vermin, and thus got them to sort of go along and conspire against the Jewish people and commit the Holocaust. You would think someone who grew up, under these things would know better, but doesn't. And you see, that's what's happening with America's youth. It's the same thing. And just to give a brief answer to your question, all Nazis are fascists by definition, but not all fascists are Nazis, meaning that Nazism is a strain of fascism, and it is necessarily anti-Semitic. But fascism can take a lot of different forms, and it doesn't always take, the Hitlerian or German form, but it's totalitarian. And they're both Nazism, both fascism and Marxism, they're ideologies of the left. And from the perspective of the governed, there's virtually no difference between them.
Wow. It's so important. I encourage anybody who's listening right now and you're craving more in depth from what Larry is talking about right here, you can go onto Larry Alex Taunton's YouTube channel, check out his podcast, Ideas Have Consequences, because you have a way with words, you have a way with explanation. I find it very helpful.
Thank you, Andy.
And you're welcome, of course. Thank you. And I think about watching. I'm 41. I also have 4 kids. My oldest is 15, so he's starting to have his own ideas. He's starting to, you obviously glean from what your parents think and believe. We're a Christian household. They're raised in a Christian school, but they're starting to question things and come up with their own conclusions and their own answers, which might match what mom and dad think. But I looked at the No Kings protests this weekend, and I don't think that I saw anybody provide a contrary policy point to what President Trump is doing. And I can't really find a substantive piece of evidence that suggests that Donald Trump is trying to be a tyrannical, all-powerful dictator over the American people. It just seems as though they're fully emotionally charged. The understanding is opposition to Orange Man bad. And the weird thing is, to me, the part that I haven't completely understood yet is that is enough to motivate what we're hearing is 7 million people across the country to come together to present the way they did, that they have this common cause that, to me, just seems to be rooted in a connection through emotion.
Well, precisely. You're so right. It's, the easiest thing in the world, there's almost nothing you can convince people of. I'm a Bama fan, and I joke sometimes when I'm speaking at conferences, just by way of illustration, I might ask a group of people, well, how many Auburn fans are there in the room, or Georgia fans? Could I logically convince you that you should be an Alabama fan? I mean, we have more national titles than anybody else. We are, we have 100 years of history behind. I can go on and on with facts.
You're making
but
them
at the end of the day,
more
what's that?
You'd be making them more convinced that they don't like you with your facts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in the end, when they see where I'm going with this, the illustration is to say, I can't convince you to change your mind even with facts. And that's because you have an emotional connection to that university, to that team, whatever the case may be. How much harder is it to convince people to change their ideological, position? The only thing I find that is very easy to convince people of is victimhood. And you see, Marxists and fascists, they get this. They get it. They have a very cynical understanding of human history and of human nature. And they know that it's easy to convince people that all that's gone wrong in your life, it's the Jews who did it, or it's white people who did it, or it's, you name whatever scapegoat, you just fill in the blank. And that's what has historically been done. And it's because most people I'm not suggesting, by the way, there aren't genuine victims, obviously, or there are, but generally speaking, people don't want to take responsibility for their own failures. They don't want to believe that they're responsible. They want to believe that, that Orange Man bad, he held them down. He prevented them from success. But I also think that a lot of these young people, they don't know what the rest of the world is actually like. If Trump was honestly, some kind of dictator, Tiananmen squares are what happen when you protest. That's what happens. Ask what's happened to the protesters in Putin's Russia. Ask what's happened to people who would like to vote Zelensky out of office. They can't. The guy has declared martial law and keeps extending his own term. That's what dictators do. Here in the United States, Trump can't even change the decor at the White House without the media and other politicians just going nuts. That's not what happens in a dictatorial regime.
Yeah, amen to that. Larry Alex Taunton with us right now. Last question before we let you go. We're very grateful for your time today. Have you found an antidote? I mean, because I do think you can look from Trump election to Trump election to Trump election. We've got 3 of them now. He has managed to persuade people over to his side, if not the left has lost people and it's addition by subtraction. Is there an antidote to what the Marxists and the socialists, as you've pointed out, they understand the game, they know how to play the game, and they're good at it? Is there an antidote to that problem?
Well, I think we have to play the long game, Annie. I think that the left plays the long game, and they've targeted children, they've targeted schools, and they have used universities, they've used higher education as an incubator for radicalism. That's what they've done. I was just speaking this past week at a conference about education, for children in Nashville. And I was telling that audience, my wife and I had recently hosted some friends from many years ago who were telling us, they told me I could tell this story, anonymously. They're very serious conservative Christians, and their 3 daughters have, one by one, have all rejected the faith, and one of them has embraced, lesbianism. And they were saying, we don't understand how this happened, but they now look back and they realize that they handed their children over to public schools. And by the way, this was in rural red state America. In public schools, their children were slowly radicalized and turned against them. And I said, if you had anything to do over again, what would you do? And the mother, she responded, I wouldn't assume that my children absorb my faith and my worldview through osmosis. I think parents have to take control of the education of their children again, because we are losing our kids, and we're losing our kids to radicalism.
That is fantastic advice. I'm a huge advocate. Personally, for me, I'm a Lutheran, but I advocate for Lutheran education here in St. Louis. Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, as any LCMSer would say, as opposed to the ELCA, but paying very up close, aggressive, attentive concern to your kids' education, that's absolutely where it starts. Larry, Alex Taunton, thank you for the time today. We look forward to having you back. You're a source of great foundational information, and we always appreciate your time here.
Annie, it's always good to be with you. You take care.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. What a great conversation. The YouTube channel and podcast, go to Ideas Have Consequences, Larry, Alex Taunton. If I'm taking a drive and I got 30 to 50 minutes, 30 to 60 minutes to listen to something, throw it on that podcast. He brings the receipts. He's been around the world. He goes to the problem. He observes the problem. He talks about it and does it in an incredibly intellectual way. And I am grateful for it. I'm really grateful that he gives us time here, too, on our little show in the Midwest. Ideas Have Consequences. The podcast, the YouTube channel. Go check it out. Let's take a quick break. The YouTube poll for today. Do political endorsements persuade you to vote for a particular candidate? Do you hear, oh, such and such has gotten so-and-so's endorsement, and then you go, well, that's good to know. That helps me. Are you in that boat? Let us know on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Go vote in the live chat poll. We'll be right back.
There's nothing where he used to lie. My conversation has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's fine, I'm torn.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. Give Stewie a phone call, send him a text message, tell him Annie sent you, and you can join me in becoming a Bagel Loan customer of Stewart's American Mortgage. I've done it twice, and essentially you're looking to get a mortgage for a new home you want to purchase, or you're looking to refinance that current mortgage you have for a variety of reasons. Maybe you want to lower the rate. You've heard rates have come down from their highest of highs. Maybe you want to lock in a lower rate while they're down, and you need to know how to do it. You've probably heard that it's not really cost beneficial when you've got to pay thousands of dollars to refinance a mortgage. Are you really saving any money? How long does it take to save it? Not with the Bagel Loan. That's why you Google the Bagel Loan to find out more information. That's why you call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440, and ask him how a Bagel Loan can work for you. And yes, it can work for a cash-out refinance for you as well. Knock out that high-interest credit card debt that's haunting you everywhere you go. Use the equity that's grown in your home, pay down that debt, and don't pay anything to refinance that mortgage. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan for more information, and MLS number 226. 6715.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/free. QUO.com/free.
If you or someone you know has a home to sell, call Gloria Lou. That's right, Gloria Lou, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is here with me now. And when it comes to St. Louis area market conditions, what advice do you have for your home sellers in today's market?
Well, most importantly, I understand every seller's situation is different. Some sellers need to sell, and some sellers want to sell. And a lot of my sellers are looking to buy, and they also have a home to sell. My advice in this uncertain market is to get an upfront written guarantee. That way, you know exactly how much you stand to make with your home sale. My guarantee sale offer is simple. I'll sell your home at 100% of market value, or I'll pay you the difference.
Take it from me, Mark Cox, an actual client. Sell with certainty and an upfront guarantee with Gloria Lou. Call 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
When it comes to roofing, you can't go wrong with Corel Roofing. Mark Cox here. My friend Curtis Corel came out, looked at my roof, worked with my insurance adjuster. I got a new roof, new gutters, and even new screens on some of my windows. Curtis specializes in working with insurance companies. Even if you've been denied, he's often able to work with these insurance adjusters to find a way to get it covered. Here's something else Curtis tells me. With cooler weather coming, you need to be aware of something. Roofs cannot be installed if the temperature dips below 45 degrees. Some companies go ahead and do this anyway, but you're going to have problems down the road. So if you're concerned that your roof won't make it through the winter, call Curtis Carrell today. Carrell Roofing has crews with over 20 years of experience. They pay attention to detail, and they can work with all the luxury line roofing as well. Call Curtis at 314-222-9529. That's 222-9529. Or on Facebook at Carrell Roofing Co.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
I'm coming inside, I know that it's late, but I'm here, cause your body my motivation. Let's keep the talk. What if we found a way to be lost without fear? Leave it all behind, we're escaping. If you told me that my fate was on your fingertips, then I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it.
That was to do. I do not have any hope right now that Chuck Schumer is going to do the right thing. I think it's too late. I think he's lost in that cause because he knows that if he folds to the Marxist left, remember, Marxism is all the rage in New York City right now. You're watching the mayor's race, right? He knows he's going to get a challenge from AOC or one of the other Mamdani disciples in his race, and he will lose. He's not very popular right now, obviously, because of the way he does all this. So he knows that if he folds right now, he's going to take it on the chin. So our objective right now is to plead with some common sense Democrats who care about the country more than themselves and do the right thing, pass the nonpartisan CR so we can get the lights back on, get Congress working for the people again, and sort through all the rest of these complicated issues for the rest of the year.
That's Speaker Johnson on Squawk Box on CNBC, pleading with Chuck Schumer to open the government up, saying he is not going to fold. And I guess that's where we are. I think some action has taken place in the Senate today. Let's get to Chad Pergram, the senior congressional correspondent for Fox News. Follow him for certain on X at Chad Pergram for the latest on the government shutdown. Chad, welcome back. Thanks for the time today.
Hey there. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Give us the latest on what took place today. We understand that there are some votes that were attempted, not much success.
Yeah, this was a vote, a bill by Ron Johnson, the Republican senator from Wisconsin, and Todd Young, Republican of Indiana, to pay federal workers or exempted workers, as they put it. In other words, if you're somebody on the job in the federal government and you're required to work but not getting paid, they're going to pay you. Well, that vote was 54-45, but it was a test vote, a couple of steps away from actually passing, and it needed 60 yeas. It did not get through that first procedural hurdle. I should note that John Thune, the Republican from South Dakota, who's the majority leader, he changed his vote. He's for it, but he changed his vote so that he could be on the prevailing side to recall something. You can call for a revote if you're on the winning side, in this case, the noes. So he's going to recall this at some point. But this vote, if I can fillet it for a minute here, was rather interesting because it wasn't similar to some of the other votes we've had related to the government shutdown, where they've had these 12 test votes over the past 3 weeks and change now, and they've all failed in the Senate. Rand Paul, Republican from Kentucky, he had previously voted no on these funding bills, the procedural votes here. He voted yes today. Then you had John Fetterman, who is one of the three Democrats or senators who caucus with the Democrats who've been voting yes. He voted yes. And then you had two different Georgia Democrats, two others who voted yes. You had John Ossoff, who faces a competitive reelection bid next year, and Raphael Warnock. Then you had Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada and the independent Angus King of Maine, who caucuses with the Democrats. Both of them had been teaming up with Fetterman, voting in favor of breaking the filibuster on these other test votes just to fund the government, to sync up with the House of Representatives, and they voted no. So, again, kind of hopscotching around. This was all over the map, a little bit different from any other vote. But the bottom line is that the government is still closed. And even, Annie, if they were to get an agreement right now and try to move all this through quickly, it would probably take at a minimum 4 to 6 days to move all that. So there's no agreement now. So what this means is we're probably here at a minimum till about this time next week before you see anything, unless there's a crisis. Now, if there's a crisis, terrorism, war, something major, people get religion real fast and they come back to Washington and they say, okay, we have to deal with this. But until they get that, and both sides kind of feel that they are prevailing. I talked yesterday to Mike Simpson, a Republican from Idaho, who said that he heard on his teletown hall, people are like, don't you let these hostage takers win, meaning that he was saying that about the Democrats. And then Richard Blumenthal, Democratic senator from Connecticut, said that people in Connecticut, almost to a person, were saying, don't back down. We want you guys to work something out on health care. So, when both sides are getting that message, ne'er the twain shall meet.
No. Senior congressional correspondent for Fox News, Chad Pergram, speaking with us on the latest regarding the government shutdown. I was speaking earlier this week with local Congressman Mike Bost, and he was talking about how what the House passed, my recollection is that it goes through November 21st. So every day that passes for the Senate to pass what the House has already passed, that it's not like it's a 12-week CR. There's a finite amount of time that CR itself would even be able to be put in play.
And you're right back in that problem. Yeah, here in 3 or 4 weeks. And this is where some, Republicans and Democrats have said, this isn't working. It was one thing to do this maybe the first few days, the first week or two of the government shutdown, but now we're toward the latter part of October and, less than a month from when that would expire. And you can blame the Democrats all you want if you're the Republicans, but operationally, they have to come up with another plan. Mike Johnson has resisted that so far. There were so many members on the Republican side who they just thought that the Democrats were going to fold immediately. They thought it'd be 4 or 5 days. And, I had a conversation with a senior Democrat a couple of days ago who said, they underestimated our resolve. Now, we can, argue whether or not that's the appropriate thing to do on either side of the aisle. But this is a big, fat staring contest. This is the biggest game of chicken you've ever seen. And until somebody starts to think that they are paying a price, this is probably going to remain right there. Absolutely. I mean, people keep talking about maybe November 1st. Well, that's when WIC and SNAP benefits, start to run out. This is where Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, was here with Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, today, and talking about how, air traffic controllers are mad and angry and they have to work 6 days a week right now. They're not getting paid. He said, if you have a delayed or canceled flight, blame Democrats because they're not opening the government, because eventually, you might see serious stresses, especially as we get closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas in the travel operations of the country.
Chad Pergram with us. Last question before we let you go. Can you articulate for us the minimum expectation that Democrats would need Republicans to meet in order to cave?
Well, yes. They want a renewal of these subsidies. Now, people have been open, and again, this is why you have to have a negotiation. And so long as there is no negotiation and nobody is trading paper, nobody can say, yeah, I can kind of live with that, or I think I can pass that in my body, or so on and so forth. That's the problem. Generally, they can say, okay, we want a renewal of these subsidies. Now, Republicans and some Democrats have said, okay, maybe we do it with a time frame where it sunsets again, or we peel it back a little bit, because there were people who, as John Thune, the Republican leader in the Senate, has said, they were getting some people had policies and didn't even realize it, and there was fraud in some cases, maybe not on behalf of individuals, but on behalf of companies and things with this. So, yeah, I mean, but until you get to that negotiation, and that's what's so interesting, there's only one way this ends, Annie. The President of the United States has to get involved, and he's not. He's going to Asia next week. He's been to the Middle East. And not to undercut the importance of any of those things, but when I have been through government shutdowns before, the president, be it Bill Clinton or Barack Obama, and even to some degree Donald Trump back in 2018 and 2019, who talked about, I'm here alone by myself here at the White House when the government was shut down. That was pretty much, I think, the tweet that was sent out. That has taken up every bit of news oxygen. And that's not what is happening right now. The president is doing other things, and I was told by someone who gets this pretty well, who said that the president knows that if he does get involved in this right now, that it just looks bad for him. So he's trying to, focus on all these other things, be it meeting with the LSU athletic teams, going overseas, even the, questions demolition of the White House. Anything that's not about the shutdown, the interpretation was that works in favor of the president.
Well, Chad Pergram speaking with us right now. We look forward to having you back. It's definitely going to continue to be a story, and we look forward to a resolution and are not holding our breath. I hope you are not either.
Indeed. No, not right now.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Chad Pergram, the senior congressional correspondent for Fox News. The wealth of information that man has in his head, the experience that he has, he's talking about having done what he's doing there since the Clinton administration. You want to I bet he hasn't experienced the limit to his congressional knowledge. I wonder what things he knows nothing about, like in life. For instance, I know nothing about wildlife. My kids will come up and I've said this before. My kids will say, "Mommy, what kind of bird is that?" And I'm like, "It's a yellow bird." What is it called? And I'm like, "Sally." And then I'm like, go talk to your dad. And then he'll give you like the genus of that stupid bird. I don't know anything about that, but I know a lot about politics, but it can't even begin to compare to what Chad Pergram must have stored in the files and the archives of his mind.
Kind of a fun challenge to just hang out with him and not tell him you were doing it, but just sort of bring up different topics, walk past a garden and say, "Chad Pergram, what exactly is that?" And just hear him go, "Oh, that's a hydrangea." It was
you think it's botany?
Not native to this area.
Yes. I don't know. I always appreciate his insight and also not just this is what's going on right now, but the archive of information, the precedent that exists. Chad Pergram knows it, and we're always thankful that he gives us some time. The YouTube poll, do political endorsements persuade you to vote for a particular candidate? Yes, significantly. Yes, somewhat. Not usually or never. We want to talk about that when we come back. And then in the 2 o'clock hour, we have postponed Wiggins America for a longer discussion to take place in the 2 o'clock hour. 10 do's and don'ts of how to be a sports parent. Yikes. Stick with us in the 2 o'clock hour. We'll discuss that. Tonight is the birthday party at Lit Cigar Lounge. The time frame for people to come out. You are welcome to come out and participate. The details, Ryan, real quick.
5 o'clock is when you can start showing up all the way till 7:30. So anytime within there, if you've RSVP'd, 971talk.com/events.
All right. We'd love to see you. Stick around. We'll be right back. We'll talk about the poll. Don't go away.
Keep it coming in my direction. If you told me then my faith was on your fingertips, and I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. Every kiss with you, it's like a prayer falls from my lips now. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. Yeah, I'm a believer. Oh, this is
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. That's the website to visit, and you can learn about the different types of foundation repair services that are offered by Matt Hayes and his very experienced expert team. Yes, you can rely on Home Shield Foundation Repair for your foundation repair needs, buckling walls, cracks in your walls that are new, and you're like, uh-oh, what's this? Concrete lifting, evening out that crack in your concrete where it's separated and one side's raised and now it's a trip hazard, it's a liability, but also basement waterproofing. Ensuring that your basement isn't going to experience water seepage and all the different types of things that can happen when the rain comes down a lot, comes down fast. You can avoid having to worry about this in the future by going to the experts at Home Shield Foundation Repair. Plus, after the installation of their basement waterproofing system, they're not going to just walk away. They give you the ongoing support that you need and the lifetime warranty to back it up. Call 314-227-9636, 314-227-9636. Learn everything you need to know online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
No need to get technical on heating and cooling. We all want our houses to cool, correct? When it's heating season, we want them to heat, correct? There's not much more to it than that, but I can give you some pointers and tips on the efficiencies, meaning the efficiencies of your house. What you can do to make your house more efficient, and then deciding on what system to purchase, therefore maximizing every single dollar you spent for a furnace and air conditioner. not spending maximum dollars on a furnace and air conditioner because you're told of an efficiency rating, and that's it. So again, a common sense approach. When you start getting prices for new furnace and air conditioners, call me. It's one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Again, Missouri and Illinois, the only number, 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600, or on the internet, it is bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
Hey, it's Kenny Wallace. A big congratulations to 97.1 FM Talk. 25 years strong as St. Louis's conservative voice. For me, 97.1 means more common sense. Here's to the next 25 years.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
We called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
they came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
Mark Cox here for the Range St. Louis West. Right now, they're giving away a free basic handgun skills class. All you have to do is register for your chance to win. therangestl.com/971. I've taken this class. It's ideal for beginners. They have expert instruction. It's available in a women's only class if that's what you're interested in. The normal cost is $135. You can win the class right now at therangestl.com/971.
If you want to watch a really bad time check, you want to tune in right now because Annie's got the camera and it is all on me.
To the YouTube.
And it is showing me
Can't watch it on the radio.
in unflattering ways. Look at that. I need to shave on that side better, too. Well, anyway, the YouTube live chat poll. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do the YouTube live chat poll. You can just go figure it out because you'll have to go see me and all my buck teeth on the stupid camera. Get this thing out of my face. I look terrible. I look so weird.
Incredibly handsome.
145. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Now, back to the Annie Fry Show. Real talk for real people. 97.1 FM Talk.
Friend of the show, Jeremy Boyer, organist for the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah.
And organist for the St. Louis Cardinals, one of them.
He wrote that song.
He actually is Mariah Carey.
Little known fact.
Yeah, but that's why you listen to this station.
Yep.
That liner, this is a separate thing. That liner just ran us. This real talk for real people.
Mhm.
I want to know who that's an attack at against.
Me too. Me too. It's for fake people.
Who are we implying is talking to non-real?
I can tell you exactly who those people are. It's the people that they put the cardboard cutouts.
Sounds like you can't.
During the 2020 MLB season.
It's the COVID people.
It's those people.
They were the letter people, and now they're the COVID people.
Those jerks.
Jeremy Boyer, I said this one time. I bet it was like a year ago or maybe 2 years ago. I feel like it was going into Halloween, and I was driving to pick up my kids. I remember exactly where I was in Collinsville, driving through, and that song came on. It's one of my favorite songs. 1995, 1996, just a moment in time from my childhood. And I was listening to the words. Pull up the lyrics to the song here real quick, Ryan, while I'm telling my story. No, there's the lyrics, just on the Google. I don't need the Jeremy Boyer impersonation here. So close. But I thought to myself that if this song were darker, it would sound like what Silence of the Lambs might articulate. It sounds kind of like a hostage situation.
You want me to read the lyrics?
Yeah, but I said on the air, I'm like, I wonder what that song would sound like in a minor key. And he heard it, and he was like, I'll play that. And he did, and he posted on Twitter, and it's creepy as heck.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear this. Because the lyrics read like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, shadoo, do do.
See?
Yeah.
How terrifying is that?
Do doop dum.
Can you skip that part?
Do doop dum dum.
Dum dum.
Okay, I'll skip ahead to where she's saying the words. Yeah, baby.
You're killing us.
We were as one, babe. For a moment in time, it seemed everlasting that you would always be mine. Now you want to be free, so I'm letting you fly. Because I know in my heart, babe, our love will never die. No.
No.
You will always be a part of me. Oh, I'm part of you indefinitely. Yeah, baby. Boy, don't you know you can't escape me? Oh, darling, because you'll always be my baby.
Like, this is the type of thing that a forlorn lover who has been rejected. Why? Because they're crazy. This is what they sing on their way to capture you.
And we'll linger on. Oh, time can't erase a feeling this strong.
Justified emotions.
No. No way you're never going to shake me. Oh, darling, because you'll always be my baby.
Yeah.
Doop-da-dum.
Some strong Annie Wilkes vibes right there.
Mm-hmm. Cranberries vibes with the linger word there. I ain't going to cry, no. I won't beg you to stay. Excuse me. If you're determined to leave, boy, I will not stand in your way, but inevitably, you'll be back again. Because you know in your heart, babe, our love will never end. Okay. No.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just throw it in a minor key. Maybe I'll find his tweet on it. Maybe he's still got it and he's listening and he'll tweet it at us.
Oh,
again.
I thought you had it.
Oh, I do. I can find it because he sent it to me. I could find it pretty easily. I didn't know that song was going to play, so I wasn't prepared to have that.
Gotcha.
I always have that right there ready to go. But he played it on the organ in a minor key, and I'm like, this is concerning.
I'll tell you what we should do is ask him if he could play that at the Cardinals games in a minor. Like, anytime.
Is it too much of a deep cut? Because there's can't you get penalties that are minors?
In hockey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He should play songs in minors when it's a minor penalty.
Ooh.
Is that too deep?
It's way too deep, but yes.
But if you know, you know.
Yeah. You got to do it. Walking on sunshine in a minor.
Yeah. There you go.
That'd be great. And everybody'd get it, too. You'd go, well,
everybody,
something weird here.
Everybody else doesn't have to get it. Blues fans have to get it. And then it's good.
Yes. I think we just created something that's St.
Jeremy,
Louis.
we're just here for you.
Yep.
We're just here to generate ideas.
You got to do this now, man.
And as Larry Alex Ton says, ideas have consequences. He was on with us at 1 o'clock.
Let me give you some strong advice here, Jeremy. Don't run this by your superiors.
Just do it.
Yep.
And credit the Mark Cox Morning Show.
We've made a career out of doing that. We don't run anything by anybody ever.
No. Most of the time, we're just trying to see if anyone's paying attention. The YouTube live chat poll: do political endorsements persuade you to vote for a particular candidate? Yes, significantly. Yes, somewhat. Not usually, or never. This is a full circle for me. This poll question, because I was listening to the news and a big endorsement came out for a candidate, and I can't even remember who the endorser was or who the candidate was that was being endorsed, because I thought that's so stupid. Who cares?
Was it today?
It was in the last
or the last 24
20 hours. Yeah.
Was it? Can I suggest
yes.
who it might have been?
I could Google it. But
was it Eric Adams?
Eric Adams
possibly endorsing Cuomo?
Did endorse
He did.
Cuomo.
Okay. I heard he might, so I didn't know.
I think that might have been it. And I thought, are there Democrats who are holding out on the future of New York City because they had some loyalty to the Eric Adams that were like, well, let's just make sure that the New York the New Yorkers get what they deserve in a communist? Like, are there people who are afraid of a communist getting the reins of the mayoralship in New York City who now heard Eric Adams say, it's okay, guys, vote for Cuomo? And we're like, fine, I'll do it.
No, there's nobody that affects.
Not one.
I don't think there's anybody that affects.
Maybe it affected Eric Adams.
Maybe his, his
he's
cabinet.
actually going to vote for
Yeah,
Cuomo
his
now.
family might vote for Cuomo
Which
now.
doesn't need to be a public endorsement.
No. He didn't. Here's the problem with Eric Adams. He was semi-moderate on crime. Not great, but okay on crime.
He's former law enforcement, right?
Yes, and that's why he was okay on crime. But he had to pander so much to these Mamdani-style voters that he ran New York into the ground. So none of these guys are doing a great job in New York. Even the moderate-ish Democrats, at least they're paying lip service to what should be happening with crime.
There's only one exception to the rule that I can kind of think of. Can you guess what it is?
Giuliani, but he wasn't a Democrat.
No. Trump endorsing in a primary.
Oh, to the question itself.
No, to whatever was rolling around in your head.
Well, I
at the
thought
time.
you were talking about New York.
No,
okay.
specifically when it comes to endorsements, like, we've seen a lot of, like, for instance, a good example that comes to the top of my mind is the Republican primary for Missouri Attorney General. Andrew Bailey filled in for Eric Schmidt when Eric Schmidt became the senator. Andrew Bailey was doing an amazing job. Who was challenging Andrew Bailey in the Republican primary for Attorney General? Our dear friend, Will Scharf, who was on screen as Donald Trump's lawyer and attorney in New York in that wild case. How does Donald Trump endorse Will Scharf? Because, I've told this story before, but Will Scharf would be in studio with us. One time he was in studio on air with us. His phone rang during his interview, and he left in the middle of an interview because it was President Trump.
I'm so glad you told that story. I didn't know if we ever did.
I think we have.
Have we? Okay.
I think the cat's out of the bag now. But we knew it was in the middle of the New York case, the fraud case, which he was convicted of. And he's in here, and we know, like, if he picks up the phone, he'll look at his phone from time to time, but we usually had him for maybe tops 45 minutes. He looks at his phone, and his demeanor changed. And he's like, he points at his phone, he's like, I gotta take this. And we're like, okay.
Go ahead.
You do you. He walks out, and it was President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
That's who he had to talk to while this was being litigated. We're like, put the phone on the air.
Yeah. We're that close.
And then the other time, one time Will Scharf was telling us about, like, when President Trump would leave him a voicemail, he'd be like, Will, this is your favorite president.
Will, it's your favorite president.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Donald Trump did not endorse Will Scharf solely in that race. He's like Missouri. You have too many good candidates. You can't go wrong with these guys.
And now they're all a part of the administration.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
So he was wise in doing that.
I'm trying to think of it. I'm trying to think of a competitive race that I've seen or been close to or something where Trump has stepped in and tipped the scales. Maybe, I don't know, like the Mary Miller over Rodney Davis when they redistricted, but Mary Miller, that was her district, and they stuck Rodney Davis in there to get rid of a Republican congressman in a purple district, and they did that on purpose. The Democrats redistricting, gerrymandering. Whose endorsement are you waiting to hear? Like, who are you sitting there waiting? Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to find out. Blah 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 blah. It might be a personal thing. You might want to talk to your spouse. You might want to talk to a dear friend or a parent or maybe your kids or something to just like gauge where they're at on something like that. But especially when it comes to the general election, who's like, oh, you going Republican or Democrat this time? What are they, like? Where is the crossover? Like, where is the gray area?
I'm waiting every time.
That's not true. You're lying.
I want to hear from one person. And when that one person tells me who to vote for, I'm like, then I'm in. And that person is Sarah Palin. Always wait for the Palin.
All right, Jeremy Boyer, I'm going to look up your tweets and see if I can find Always Be My Baby and a Minor, which sounds like a serial killer song. It truly does. 10 do's and don'ts, how to be a sports parent Prolonged Weekends America coming up next. Don't go away.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
The website's igotfloor.com. You can learn about Michael's Flooring Outlet and everything that they can offer your flooring needs when you visit that website. Michael's Flooring Outlet they've been with us for decades here on 97.1, a longtime valued partner of ours here on the Annie Fry Show, of 97.1, and they have valued you for all of these years that we've partnered together because they know that you're a great consumer. They know that you care about the same things that Michael's Flooring Outlet cares about when it comes to selling flooring. They know you care top about quality, that if you're going to invest your hard-earned dollar, that it needs to go to a product that you feel great about, that is a quality product. You're not looking for the absolute cheapest, most cheap thing because you're going to get cheap when you go down that route. That's not where Michael's is. But they also know that you want top value to match that quality. That's why they've been so successful for all of these decades, serving St. Louisans on the East and the West exactly like you. Learn what you need to know at igotfloored.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims, and in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Another shutdown bill fails in the Senate. Lisa Brady, Fox News. This time, an effort to pay essential federal workers currently working without paychecks during the shutdown. Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson, who wrote the bill, offering to include furloughed workers as well.
Add furloughed workers. Say it's a done deal. Is that something you'd accept here today?
This after a push for changes by Maryland Democrat Chris Van Hollen, who responded.
The short answer is we do want to pay all federal employees because none of them should be punished. But we also don't want them to be fired and riffed during this period of time.
The paycheck bill winning some bipartisan support, but falling 6 votes short of the 60 needed to advance the same fate as short-term spending to end the shutdown, which also keeps failing in a fight over talks on health care funding. The East Wing of the White House is demolished as plans to build a ballroom move forward.
Once a $200 million build separate from the White House, the Ballroom project is now $300 million and will totally replace the East Wing.
Plans changed when the president heard counsel from the architects and the construction company.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says in addition to a 90,000 square foot ballroom, the project is also modernizing the White House.
The president wants to do right by the people's house, and so that's exactly what he's doing. It's going to be, again, like I said, much more stable, strong, secure, and more beautiful than ever once it's complete.
Plans call for the construction to finish before the president's term in January 2029.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The White House not ruling out another meeting between President Trump and Russia's President President Putin.
But we want to make sure that there's a tangible, positive outcome out of that meeting and that it's a good use of the president's time.
Levitt says a possible meeting in Hungary was scrapped because of lack of diplomatic progress on ending the war in Ukraine. Lithuania just accusing Russian planes of violating its airspace. America is listening to Fox News.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Tons of sunshine going through our Thursday afternoon. The winds are light. That's something different. 66 for the high. Tonight, clear skies. 50s this evening. 41 for the nippy overnight low. Friday, increasing clouds, but a dry day, a chilly day. 60 degrees. Nothing more than a couple of spotty showers Friday night and over the weekend. Do not expect much in the way of rain. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to get ready for cold weather and schedule your heating system check. Get not just your heating system, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Our YouTube poll for today, we're asking about how much you lean into, care about, or even pay attention to political endorsements. Do they persuade you to vote for a particular candidate? Go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and go vote and tell us what you think. Leave a comment if you so choose. Real quick before we get to Wiggins America, Eric Daugherty on X puts he's reported here. He reported this just before the show started today. And I quote, "Wow, President Trump's White House just majorly trolled the Democrats by adding to the, quote, major events timeline on the official website, the official White House website, Trans Day of Visibility and cocaine discovered." And they added an image of Hunter Biden to it.
Oh, the calendar going backwards, or like every year at this time, that's what they're commemorating.
Going back. I'm going to, while we get into Wiggins America, I'm going to pull up the White House website and just, we'll browse and see what we can see. Let's get to Wiggins America.
Wiggins! Oh, Wiggins!
All right, 10 do's and don'ts for sports parents. You're going to love this topic. Good question. This is stack.com. But I read these over and over because I'm like, these are really good. First one, do not join sympathy groups. At every game, there are parents who gather to complain and whine about something. The coach, the team, the refs, other parents. These sympathy groups do not accomplish anything positive.
What's a sympathy group?
Probably a Facebook group or a text thread where you're just talking to certain parents and you're mostly complaining about something. I don't really get involved in that, but I know that probably does exist.
A pity party of sorts where
Yes.
everybody gets together and like this hive mind of sadness and anger.
Yes. Now that can exist just in sitting there in the stands a little bit, but there's a little bit more of a buffer because you don't know who exactly is around. But if you pick certain people,
How toxic is it to be around that?
Yeah, it can be.
Have you participated? Have you been not participated necessarily, but have you? In how many different sports are you associated with?
3 or 4, I guess, between all the kids.
But your oldest are 11.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think you're quite there yet, but are you?
Yeah, we're there. I mean, we're in competitive sports for sure, so we're there.
Are the parents respectful of the coaches? Are the coaches respectful of the parents?
Yes. I've never been around a coach that wasn't respectful of the parents. I've seen coaches that weren't on the sidelines of other teams and thought, oh my gosh, how are they getting away with that? But I don't know that I would stick around on a team long enough to be disrespected by a coach, especially if I'm paying for it. But I have seen this kind of collective thing happen. And maybe it happens without me, and I've never been a part of it, where people start to kind of coalesce around, we really don't like so-and-so. And then it may even fracture the team at some point. I've never really gotten involved in it, but I've seen it happen.
Yeah. Teams split up all the time.
Next one is do cheer for the whole team, not just your child. Do you have trouble with this?
I've definitely witnessed it happen. I am aware that the success of the whole team will help my child have success. And if you're not aware of that, some people aren't going to come around to that. And I've definitely also seen very up close and personal families or parents who not only cheer for their own kid, but work to diminish and denigrate other kids on the team specifically to bring them down for the benefit of their own child.
That's bad. I guess because they're viewing it as competition within the team and they want their kid to be on top.
It's probably more prevalent. I don't know. To me, I feel like you get to maybe the 14-year-old age where things have officially kind of sifted out a little bit. Kids kind of know what lane they're going to be in. Super competitive, traveling everywhere, top tier everything. And then there are the people who still really want to be competitive, but they are not going to make that cut. And then there are the people who still want to participate and are recreational. I think you're getting into that 12 to 14 range, to me, is where there is the most conflict because there are parents who have not accepted that their kid either A, maybe isn't going to have the talent to be able to take them where they thought they were going to go, or B, and this is the really sad one, the kid doesn't want what the parent wants. And there's a conflict of interest there that becomes very toxic to be around.
I've tried to steer my kids in directions that I think would be beneficial to them or that the family would schedule-wise work better for. And so I've almost done the opposite where I'm not trying to push my kids into a sport. I'm almost trying to give them outs, and they just won't take them. No, I want to play that too. I want to play this too. At some point, you got to figure out what you're going to do.
And at 11, also, my experience of having two people who are past that age, you really have to, as a parent, you can't stop parenting. That's for sure. I have to let go of the reins a lot more with Charlie, who's 15. There are things that he's going to want to do that I don't want him to do, that I need to let him do, and there are things that he's not going to want to do that I can push him to do. Like your homework, son, guess what? That's going to happen. But if I wanted to push him very heavily to participate in some club or event or competition or something, and he really doesn't want to do it, I have to back off. So, but that age range that you're coming into right now, you do have to start considering where their natural interests are taking them.
Number 3. Do not go broke so your child can play sports.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
If you find the cost of youth sports is draining your wallet, look for less expensive alternatives. You don't have to do them. That's important because there's a lot of keeping up with the Joneses with this stuff too.
The real stupidity of it is the amount of money you can spend for something that doesn't warrant that amount of money. You can spend thousands of dollars on one season of youth sports and get top-tier education, top-tier exposure, top-tier skill building and one-on-one sessions and the whole 9 yards. You can also spend the exact same amount to be a member of a club that doesn't offer any of those things. I noticed that specifically, I don't even know if I want to out this specific sport. There's a particular sport that I have noticed in observation that will create as many teams to belong to a club, to create as many teams as they have kids for.
Mm-hmm.
And the money that they will take from the least talented kid to the most talented kid is not always very different. And that is wrong. To me, that is morally unethical. To be taking thousands of dollars from a family where you're essentially providing a rec option. You could be spending $75 to go to the Y and get the same thing, but they're selling it to families and to kids who are wanting something out of it, a label that is not what they're getting.
Number 4, do volunteer to help. Youth sports depend on volunteers to stay alive. You don't have to be the team parent or work the snack bar at every game, but find something you can do to help. I'm not great at this because I just don't get involved, but I do know that there are times when I should. Even just being the parent that does the snacks at the end of the T-ball game sometimes.
I have a parent who we're state volleyball tournaments coming up here in a couple weekends, and you can do a pre-order of sweatshirts and T-shirts and stuff like that. And being when a parent steps up, she's like, "Oh, I can handle that. I can take those orders." I'm like, because I'm the head coach, I'm like, "Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that on top of everything else." So those little things, that's a really great way to.
There's always parents with soccer, and because I never do it either, but they make the little, like when we go on a travel weekend, they make the little things for the doors. Not that that's that important, but the kids get a kick out of it, and it's nice when they do it for the whole team. Number 5, do not push. One gentle nudge or push is okay if your child is hesitant to try a sport or try something within the sport, but constantly pushing your child to work extra hard when they don't want to can result in a damaged parent-child relationship and a child playing a sport that he or she really doesn't want to play.
Is there an instance where you would get mid-season, kids made a commitment to the team, and the kid really, desperately wants to quit? Is there an instance where you'd let him quit?
There probably is, but we've been in that situation before, and we say, no, you have to see it out. So we've never really crossed the bridge enough that we had to say, yeah, okay, this is where we'd actually do that.
I feel pretty strongly about you've committed to a team, you're a part of it, you need to see this through. I think that the follow-through is something that is a lesson to be learned there. I think the business and treating children, athletes, as a commodity, though, there are some instances where I don't know why people stick with it. Youth baseball, my son is in a different program now, so he's 15, so things have kind of, like I said, shaken out since then. But you get about 2/3 of the way into the club baseball season, select baseball season, whatever you want to call it, and people start talking about what they're going to do next year, and tryouts start happening, and kids start showing up to sub on teams that they don't play on, and that's their tryout, and little Johnny, whose parents paid $2,500 to play on this team and may not make the cut next year, sitting on the bench while they're having a tryout for another kid.
That drives me freaking crazy.
Oh my gosh. And I think it happens in lots of sports.
Yeah, it does.
Does it happen in soccer?
Yes.
And I'm a grown person sitting here going, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, it's
you
okay
want to see that kid play? Go watch him play on one of his games.
And even if you're like, well, I want to see how he gels with this team. Okay, a little bit, but not for 10 out of 20 games of the season, or even less than that sometimes.
Or a tournament. You end up going to a travel tournament and someone sits on the bench. You're told you're a pitcher for this team, but now they brought in some other people, and guess what? You spent $1,500 on room and board for 4 nights in a hotel for some elite baseball tournament, and you pitched 5 innings in total.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff happens all of the time. And it's not the percentage of those player participants who are even going to finish their high school years playing baseball, let alone college scholarships, let alone pro baseball. Medium out. It's not a lot. And all of these situations become so toxic that they don't want to be involved in it by the time they're 18. It's sad. It's so sad. It is the theft of childhood. America's favorite pastime when it comes to baseball specifically has been my biggest pet peeve, but I've seen it and heard a lot of other parents talk about. Youth sports is so toxically rotten in certain areas.
It is. There's one area where I don't even think it's on this list, but it's when a team brings in a ringer for whatever reason. And usually what happens is let's say you got 6 levels, and you're at level 3. And they're like, let's bring in somebody from level 1 or 2 just for this couple games, just where it matters. And then they're not even on the team, and they go right back. They're not even part of the whole thing, just to get past this little hump that they want to get past. You're like, what are you teaching? What are you allowing? And there are some really corrupt, I'm not saying I'm involved with them because we wouldn't stay, but there are some really corrupt teams out there that'll do this at national tournaments especially, that'll fake things. And, I mean, it's thick. It's big.
It's so gross.
Or fake their ages. I mean, that stuff's real.
It's super gross. And it makes me, like I said, the thing about it that hurts my heart is watching children be commoditized in this way. And the joy that is supposed to come. Like, yeah, compete. I loved competition. I still love competition. But the joy in competing is taken away because they get treated like trading cards. Some of them get thrown away. Some of them are the smoke that's blown up the rear of some of these kids about how hot they are at any given thing. Like, it's not a real situation. It's not a realistic situation.
That there's money, so it becomes very real to a lot of people. We're about halfway through this list.
Let's take a break and we can wrap it up on the other side here. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Our YouTube poll for today on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Do political endorsements persuade you to vote for a particular candidate? Yes, significantly. Yes, somewhat. Not usually or never. What are your thoughts? Stick around. We'll talk a little bit more about the youth sports culture next. Don't go away.
Morning will come, every day we'll see if you will get some. They say that girl, you know she acts too tough. Well, instead of turn up the light, They say that girl, you know she acts so.
One of the things about Ruler Foods that I don't talk about probably as much as I should is their option for delivery. Ruler Foods offers home delivery. Did you know that? The savings that you can enjoy when you're shopping in Ruler Foods, those can get shipped directly to your door. With Ruler Foods delivery, you can get those favorite super saver deals like fresh produce, pantry staples, even household essentials. They come right to your door when you schedule that delivery at rulerfoods.com. If you're stretched thin on time, I know a little bit about that, trying to get from point A to point B, but you know that you need milk, you're out of eggs, and you want to not overspend. This is what you do. You just go to rulerfoods.com. You find the delivery option right there, and you fill your cart, your online cart, have those savings delivered to the convenience of your doorstep, and you don't have to miss out on the discounts. If you're looking for a Ruler Foods near you to stop by, please consider going to rulerfoods.com and throw your zip code in there, and also always checking out all of the ads that are available on the website so you can see what savings exist for you. rulerfoods.com.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Dad, that's what Grandpa Rip always said.
That's right. 50 years ago, Grandpa started Grasser, and whenever a customer called, he'd smile and say, "Hey, it's good to see you."
Hey, it's good to see you.
It was his way of treating people like neighbors, not numbers. That's why we still say it today.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Hey, it's good to see you.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows before winter hits, which is smart, don't keep making the same mistake. Stop replacing your failing vinyl windows on your home now with more vinyl. Lakeside Renovation and Design will install Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows. They're built to last, they're energy efficient, plus they look stunning, and they're custom built for your home. Installed by Lakeside's expert team, and they're going to offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. If you're ready to upgrade your windows once and for all, you need to visit windowsbylakeside.com. Schedule your free consultation today.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo, No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/free. QUO.com/free.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Lazy yellow moon coming up tonight, shining through the trees. Crickets are singing and lightning bugs are floating on the breeze. Baby, get ready.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. The president is supposed to be making an announcement from the White House. We are monitoring to see what that might be. So stick around for that, and we will carry it live once it happens. We're talking a little bit about youth sports and just some of the toxic things that kind of get roped into. It's weird because the highs are super high, but the lows are super low when it comes to watching your kids play sports and going through the process of participating in all this. Johnny says, I'm glad I'm done with my kids in sports. Now they can suffer with their kids. I wonder if it feels you're not as connected when you're the grandparent, when you're not trucking people back and forth to practices, even though my parents and in-laws do help get to and from practice quite a bit. Katie said coaches and club directors need to set honest expectations for kids and parents. As a coach, that's something that I have found to be the most helpful when I'm a head coach. I work hard to communicate expectations for my players and for the parents so that we can understand going into it. These are the types of expectations you can have, and here are things you can work on to improve your ability for playing time. Here are the things you need to work on to maintain your playing time, whatever it might be. At least when we're talking about a competitive type of a circumstance. If it's not for me, if I'm not coaching at the top level, which the one that I do right now is up to 8th grade, that's, you play to win situation. Anytime I've coached under class, it's essentially equal playing time. And especially at the 6th grade and the 5th grade level and under, I pretty much make my lineups before the game and do not allow myself to defer for them unless there's an injury of some sort, so that I don't get into the game and get my competitive mindset on and then alter things. I've lost games to play kids equally before at that age. But they're still learning. And, the understanding there is that the expectation from the parents is an essence of equal playing time. So I need to meet that. And if parents want to participate in a team where equal playing time is sacrificed so that you can win at a certain level, yes, even if it's 8, 9, 10, 11, then there are leagues for that. But if the expectation, if a handbook or what rule book or whatever is set out ahead of time, you got to abide by that. And people get mad when expectations are not met. I think that's the biggest thing. You had some more on your list?
Yeah, we're halfway through
don'ts?
the list of do's and don'ts as a parent of kids in sports. We're into the top 5 now, so this is number 6 going the other way. Do support the coach. You don't have to like the coach or agree with his or her game strategy, but do support. But your support helps the coach do a better job. Parents who tear the coach down, whether to his face or behind his back or her back, distract from what is best for the team.
I want to put a pin in that. We're going to go to President Trump, who's speaking right now. He's taking his chair at the White House. He's flanked by Attorney General Bondi and Pete Hegseth, and it appears as though he's going to deliver some sort of address. Let's listen in here.
It's a great honor to have all my friends here. It's like old home week. What a job you're doing, and thank you very much for that. We want to begin by thanking the people that have done such a great job at the White House. They have been doing really incredible work during a shutdown. I don't even know if they're supposed to be working, but they wouldn't miss a day. So I just want to thank everybody for that very much. And we're here today to discuss a sweeping, unprecedented, and historically successful operation that my administration has carried out in recent weeks to arrest, prosecute, and permanently remove members of foreign drug cartels from American soil. And the people gathered around this table are the ones that are doing it, and in this room. Some of them sitting a little behind. In fact, some of them I'm surprised are not actually at the table. You people should be very insulted by that. But you've done a great job back there. On my first day in office earlier this year, I signed an executive order to officially designate the drug cartels and savage transnational gangs as foreign terrorist organizations. It was my honor to do so. And on that same day, I also signed an order directing the creation of the Homeland Security Task Force to bring together all federal, state, and local partners to achieve the national policy goal of eliminating the cartel presence in America once and for all. And the results are, and it's early, and the results are spectacular. Led by ICE and the FBI, this task force includes the Department of Justice, the Department of War, DHS, the intelligence community, ATF, the DEA, the U.S. Marshals, and the state and local agencies in every part of our country. Other than that, we don't include too many people. That's a hell of a group, isn't it, huh? When you think of it, that's not a group you want against you. Certainly not at one time. In addition to the task force members, we're pleased to be joined by representatives of law enforcement at every level, the highest level, actually, but every level, including National President of the Fraternal Order of Police, Patrick Yos. Where's Patrick? Patrick, thank you, Patrick. Thank you for the endorsement, too. That really hit it off. I would have gotten 98% anyway, but it was still good to have your endorsement. Thank you, Patrick. I don't forget those things. President of the National Sheriff's Association, Chris West. Chris? Thank you, Chris, very much. Great, good job. Major Cities Chief Association Executive Director Laura Cooper. Laura, thank you, Laura, very much. Major County Sheriffs of America Executive Director Megan Noland. Megan, thank you. Thank you very much. And President of the National Border Patrol Council, my friend, and a very good speaker, by the way. Whenever he gets up and speaks, I say, that guy can really speak. I don't know. I don't want him to run for office. I want him to stay where he is. Paul Perez. Paul. Thank you, Paul. Where is Paul? Hi, Paul. What are you doing over there, Paul? Good job. Good speaker you are, though, Paul. I mean it, too. You've made some incredible speeches, and all from the heart, too, right? Some great ones. Today, you'll hear details from my national security and homeland security teams about the extraordinary historic achievements of this new Homeland Security Task Force since it became fully operational last month in all 50 states, the job they're doing. What we inherited from this past administration is like disgraceful. In a matter of weeks, the task force has made the largest number of arrests of cartel leaders, operatives, and gang members in American history, more than 3,000 and counting. That includes members of the ultra-violent New Generation Cartel, the Sinaloa Cartel, the LNFM Cartel, MS-13 Cartel, and you know MS-13, the gang, and Tren de Aragua, another beauty. That's a group of real garbage we have to deal with, that we shouldn't have to deal with. These are, in addition to the massive numbers of dangerous criminals my administration arrested nationwide since January 20th, numbering over 120,000. It's a record, and 120,000 criminal arrests. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, for 4 long years before I took office, the last administration allowed the cartels and their operatives to frankly take over our country, to freely infiltrate America and all the communities nationwide. Along with transnational gangs, these groups have unleashed more bloodshed and killing on American soil than all other terrorist groups combined. These are the worst of the worst. It should now be clear to the entire world that the cartels are the ISIS of the Western Hemisphere, in addition to their monstrous violence, such as cutting off heads, burning their enemies alive, and burning innocent people alive, too, by the way. The cartels control large swaths of territory. They maintain vast arsenals of weapons and soldiers, and they use extortion, murder, kidnapping to exercise political and economic control. Thank you very much, Joe Biden, for allowing that to happen. Biden surrendered he just surrendered our country to the cartels. Don't worry, it gets better. We're taking it back. It's really fast at levels that nobody's ever seen before. But what we had to put up with, what we inherited, was just a disgrace. And while Biden was president, if he was president, I think the Autopen was president, not Biden, nearly 100% of those who infiltrated our southern border did so because they were personally approved. They admitted they were just what happened, assisted by the most dangerous and violent criminal organizations anywhere on the planet. The worst people on the planet they allowed into our beautiful country. Under the Trump administration, we're finally treating the cartels as the core national security threat that they really are. The cartels are waging war on America, and just as I promised in the campaign, we're waging war on them like they've never seen before. All you have to do is turn on your television and you'll see what's happening to them. Past administrations have tried to mitigate this threat, and our objective is to eliminate it. We're not mitigating, we're eliminating. We're getting them out. The bad ones we're putting in prison. We hate to do that because that means we're stuck with them for 50 years or more. In recent weeks, our Homeland Security Task Force has seized more than 70 tons of deadly narcotics, along with more than 1,000 illegal guns. And that's just recently. This is already the most successful anti-cartel and anti-gang operation in American history, and it's just getting started. We have incredible people. A lot of them are in this room with us today, and it's an honor to have them.
President Trump speaking from the White House right now. You know, that's something that I think that has really not been discussed nearly as much as it should be, is how President Trump is getting guns off the street. Just said it right there. He's getting these illegal guns off the street, along with the people who are illegally using these guns. You would think that the anti-gun crowd would just, yay, it's awesome. But no.
I don't really hear him do that, though.
No, maybe we're listening in the wrong place. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't listen to MSNBC. Maybe they're saying it over there.
Maybe we should watch this on MSNBC and hear them. Oh, wait, they would just be talking.
They would not be
They wouldn't
covering
carry
it.
this.
No, they weren't. I wanted to dip into that and see if there was a major announcement. Pete Hegseth and Pam Bondi right there. It does definitely feel like there's a lot of things that are materializing 9 months in to this presidency, stuff that has been day one initiative. We're starting to get the results, especially of a lot of these law enforcement, safety, security things. And it's very good news. Who doesn't love this? Like, what is the counterpoint to fighting against the meanest of the mean gangs that are out there right now? Argue with that for me. Explain to me how you could be opposed to this. We're going to take a quick break. More Annie Fry Show around the corner. We'll get back to the list of do's and don'ts for parents. The last one offered up was the supporting of the coach. Wonder when it's okay not to support the coach. Discuss that next. Don't go away.
Are you nearing retirement and don't know if you have enough money saved to retire? That is scary. Do you have a written retirement financial plan in place? Well, when it comes to retirement planning, the trusted team at Financial and Tax Architects are the best. They've helped people all over St. Louis retire with confidence. And that's what you want. You want to retire with confidence. Now, they offer a one-night, 2.5-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. They hold these at colleges over the St. Louis area and in Illinois. No cost, no obligation, just learning. And at this class, you learn how to avoid costly mistakes, how to maximize your income, how to reduce taxes in retirement. So call them today, 314-888-5101, or visit fta-ria.com and take the first step toward a smarter retirement. 314-888-5101.
Hey, y'all, this is Maggie Freeling, host of the new podcast, Up and Vanish Weekly. Tune in each week as Payne Lindsay and I are joined by other true crime experts to take a fresh look at some of the most puzzling crimes and shine a spotlight on the cases that have stumped investigators for far too long. So go right now and search Up and Vanish Weekly in your podcast app to follow the show. Listen for free wherever you get your podcasts.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. We know the loss and the cost of an accident. Because when an insurance company offers a lowball settlement, we go to war for you and take the fight to the insurance company. Call 314-500-5000.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see ya.
Lights flickering?
Grasser can fix it.
Breaker keeps tripping?
That's a Grasser job.
Outlet not working?
Grasser makes it right.
Old wiring need a rewire?
Grasser rewires with care.
From little fixes to major fixes.
Even the tricky ones.
We treat your home like our own.
Treat? Did you say treat?
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
For 25 years, the Warner's Warm-Up Coat Drive has been a dependable resource for impoverished men, women, and children in the bi-state. Together Credit Union is proud to team up with the Kurt Warner First Things First Foundation and Operation Food Search for the 25th Annual Warner's Warm-Up Coat Drive. From October 20th to November 2nd, new and gently used winter clothes of all sizes will be collected at all 14 Together Credit Union locations to help keep our neighbors warm during the cold winter months. For more information and a full list of donation locations, visit kurtwarner.org.
Hey, St. Louis, how would you like to see if you, your family, or employees qualify for a health insurance plan that is open enrollment year-round? Bill Pauly and his team at the Pauly Agency put the sure in insurance. Call to set an appointment at 636-222-2149. That's 636-222-2149.
Men, need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
We're just sitting here talking about our anniversary party, which is coming up starting at 5 tonight. We've been talking about it all month, wishing ourselves a happy birthday, I guess we're doing, celebrating with everybody who's been a part of this thing for 25 years. Some very special names going to be there tonight. You can listen, even if you're not going to be there. We're going to be live broadcasting from Lit Cigar Lounge from 3 to 6, Mark Reardon Show, and then others, of course, are going to be kind of filtering in throughout the afternoon. So stick around, even just on the air, for kind of a fun afternoon. If you can be there, Lit Cigar Lounge, 5 to 7:30 tonight. And we are all going to be there to celebrate 25 years of 97.1 in St. Louis, sponsored by Rhino Shield, U.S. Men's Medical Center, Lore Wine and Spirits, Old Dominick Distillery, and Rayburn Wines, among others. Thank you guys for being a part of this. The time is 2:39. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, this is Ellen. 97.1 is celebrating 25 years. Annie Fry, Mark Reardon, Mark Cox. We have amazing talent on the station. And don't forget Ryan Wiggins. What a station.
Celebrating 25 years of 97.1 in St. Louis.
Did she just say that we have amazing talent on the station and Ryan Wiggins?
No. She said, and don't forget Ryan Wiggins as part of the collective amazing talent. That's what she was saying. I mean, I'm not a mind reader,
it's like
but
I paid her to say that. I did not.
I was kind of tacked on to the end, but I was glad to be just mentioned.
Have the top tier talent on 97.1, and Wiggins is here too.
I didn't take it that way. I really took it in a different way, and I'm going to continue to do that.
No, that's funny.
Every time it airs.
That's funny. I chuckled off the air. And for the record, for folks that are listening at home, I did ask Ryan if we could talk about that.
Quick question: are you saying you are top tier talent?
No, I'm saying Ellen said that. Not top tier.
I'm pretty sure that you are.
I would say I'm about as mid as it gets.
I don't think so. I think you're fully embracing the title that you were given in that short promo.
Mid.
You are mid.
I am mid.
Midday.
Yeah, capital M.
I love it when we win awards and they're all like super mid.
Yeah, especially when they're honorable mentions or runner-up or sixth place, and you are
right.
like, do we have one of those just laying around here
Oh,
somewhere?
I'm sure we do.
Especially the sixth
Give me
place.
a second.
What were we, Barrett's News Media's sixth midday show in the nation or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And you, out of, I think they do it the top 100. I think they go 100 shows deep or something like that. Is that right? Or is that something else?
Well, yeah, they go way deep into the markets for sure. Yeah, here I found one from Barrett.
This is the Barrett Sports Media one?
There's 3 of them. They're short.
We get an award, we get an acknowledgement, and Ryan's like, hold my beer.
Okay.
Hold my White Claw.
Here's the first one. I don't remember these, but here we go.
Here we go. Is your computer on?
It's an honor to be in the top 5 shows nationwide. It's an honor we hope to achieve someday. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show, voted number 6 in the nation.
Hang on,
6 or 7.
There's more.
Okay.
You're listening to the number 1 midday show in America after numbers 1 through 5. So once you get through numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, this is the best one. The Annie Fry Show.
Those are pretty good.
This poor guy.
He likes these. Now, it's when I have to have him say barf head for Ethan. And he's like, what am I doing here?
You got another one?
Yeah, last one.
One thing about Annie Fry, she won't settle for second best. She will, though, settle for 6th best. Congratulations on this midday, mid-market honor. Congratulations on being mid.
Okay,
there
thank
it
you.
is.
Yes, thank you.
There it is.
Super mid.
It was somewhere in there.
Here we are.
Yep. Something else I'd like to play real quick.
I'd like to smell that right now. Oh, stop it.
Remember that?
No.
Remember when you said I'd like to smell that right now?
I try to forget it, but here we are.
Man, this is fun going back through all this stuff.
Do you have like a hit list file folder or something on there of all the things you can play? Is this what the Manny Fry Show is when I'm not here?
No.
Just you playing?
No, it's fine.
No. Oh, the Meemaws have so much emotion. Ryan AI'd this.
No, I didn't. I made
symphony
this.
track behind it.
No. Well, I didn't make that.
Yeah.
Here's where it turns.
This is where they start running on the beach together holding hands. And happiness ensues. Okay, turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
All right, it's gone. But turn me back up, Brad, because I do have something.
Turn it back on, Brad.
We have to. Brad, turn me on, buddy.
The buddy is the disconcerting part of that.
We have to end. We have to end on a high note because we just played a bunch of stuff that was really nasty. But remember when we won an award this year?
No. Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, the NBA?
The NBA from 2025.
Yeah, that was
still 2025.
That was a first place award. That wasn't even a 6th place award.
Did I make that funny? I don't remember. Oh, I remember how now. In light of today's news, this is the perfect thing to play.
What's today's news?
Oh, here we go.
When the Annie Fry Show heard they'd been given an award from the NBA, they weren't surprised. After all, Annie has a mean jump shot and Ryan can dunk.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins with a man's jam!
But when they heard the NBA had awarded them with Best On-Air Talent in Missouri, non-morning, they were a little confused. That seems really specific and not related to basketball, producer Brad Range said.
That seems really specific and not related to basketball.
It turns out it wasn't the NBA at all. It was the MBA, Missouri Broadcasters Association. This award makes a lot more sense now, said Wiggins.
This award makes a lot more sense now.
Wow, Best On-Air Talent in Missouri, said Annie. So congratulations to the Annie Fry Show for Best On-Air Talent in the State, Non-Morning Drive. And also just announced, the Annie Fry Show has won the Missouri Broadcasters Association Award for Highest Free Throw Percentage,
Darn right.
Non-Morning Drive. Huzzah!
No excuse for missing those free throws. They are free after all.
But Dan Buck's been hitting them, so that's why we had to win it outside of Morning Drive.
We're going to have to do one of those fake injury things. Stack the deck against Dan Buck. Dan Buck sounds like a pro athlete.
That dude, he is an athlete.
Is he?
Yeah, he is an athlete. We were talking off air the other day, and man, that dude still is knee deep in sports.
Baseball.
Yeah, he's a great athlete.
What are you going to do about it? Are you intimidated by him? Are you threatened?
That's not at all where I was going with this, but
are you?
It would be kind of fun to make a rivalry if you want to do that.
We can talk it out.
I think we should. Let's talk about this.
Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe a Mark Cox show, Annie Fry show.
Free throw.
Competition.
Because we just threw down the gauntlet right there.
I'm not bad at free throws.
Ooh, this needs to happen tonight. we're going to talk about this tonight at the party.
I don't know if I have the shoes for it.
No, we're not going to do it tonight. We're just going to start setting up the rivalry, setting up the competition.
Or we could just talk smack privately between noon and 3 and see how long it takes them to find out.
That'd be kind of fun. Although a lot of times when we mention Mark Cox, I do get a text.
Oh, we love you, Mark Cox.
We love you, Mark.
Dan Buck, we're not so sure about.
Yeah, darn right about Dan Buck. Don't know about him yet.
The athlete of the morning show. Mark's like, hey, what's up? All right, let's take a quick break. We'll get the YouTube live chat poll results when we come back. Do political endorsements persuade you to vote for a particular candidate? Let us know what you think. The party is tonight. We'd love to see you there at the Lit Cigar Lounge. If you want to know more, 971talk.com/events. Come see us. Come say hi. Get your you can't get VIP tickets. Those are gone, but you can reserve your spot. We'll take a quick break. Be right back. Don't go away. The Lutheran Elementary School Association, abbreviated LISA with an E. A lot of you out there have been touched by Lutheran schools. I think it's a really amazing connection to our conversation we had earlier on the show with Larry Alex Taunton. We're talking about, what the world is trying to do to persuade kids that are looking for a place to belong. I asked him, what's the antidote to the waywardness of our youth who go away to school or whatever? And he said, you got to be a participant. You got to be an active participant in your kids' education. I suggest a Lutheran school in the bi-state area. 34 elementary schools for you to choose from. And you don't have to worry when you send your kid to a Lutheran school about some of the things you might be concerned about when you put them in public school. Of course, you're an active parent. Of course, you're a concerned grandparent. But putting them into a Lutheran elementary school, even a Lutheran high school, allows you the confidence you need to make sure that they're getting educated in a way that is according to your values. Learn more about the Lutheran schools in our area. You can find them online at LISA with an E, lisastl.org.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
we called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
They came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
Hi, it's Brian Kilmeade. Congratulations to 97.1 FM Talk on 25 years. For me, you've always been so important and a part of my day. Knowing that St. Louis is listening has made this show worth doing. Cheers to the next chapter.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it. Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Are you nearing retirement and don't know if you have enough money saved to retire? That is scary. Do you have a written retirement financial plan in place? Well, when it comes to retirement planning, the trusted team at Financial and Tax Architects are the best. They've helped people all over St. Louis retire with confidence. And that's what you want. You want to retire with confidence. Now, they offer a one-night, 2.5-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. They hold these at colleges over the St. Louis area and in Illinois. No cost, no obligation, just learning. And at this class, you learn how to avoid costly mistakes, how to maximize your income, how to reduce taxes in retirement. So call them today, 314-888-5101, or visit fta-ria.com and take the first step toward a smarter retirement. 314-888-5101.
Family focused, faith filled, always on point. It's the Annie Fry Show.
There's times when I want something more, someone more like me. There's times when this dress rehearsal seems incomplete, but you see the colors in me like no one else. And behind your dark glasses, you're something else.
I just want to throw the full weight of the Annie Fry Show behind the Mark Reardon Show. I fully endorse it, and I want everybody who's listening to the Annie Fry Show right now to understand that I endorse it so much that I will hand the airwaves over to Mark Reardon at 3 o'clock today, who will be broadcasting live from Lit Cigar Lounge. And I'm so in support of it that I'm going to go join him at 5:30 from Lit Cigar Lounge at the party today. Just the full endorsement for the afternoon drive time show.
I voted no on today's poll. The poll is, do political endorsements persuade you to vote for a particular candidate or listen to a particular radio show? Yes, significantly. Yes, somewhat. Not usually, or never. And I voted never.
It never does? What about now? Do you have to change your vote?
Well, now that you've done that,
Yeah.
I said never. I was going to say yes. I was going to say yes because there are times that a major political candidate, a very well-known candidate, will endorse at a small local state level in a race that I don't really know much about the
Like
candidate.
maybe they introduce you to a name you didn't know.
Yes. That's the time when it matters to me. Aside from, and that is not that common.
It's almost not even so much about the candidate. It might just be that, hey, this is an important race you should be paying attention to that you're probably not.
Yeah, or in a primary, because that's, to me, there's 4 people here. I don't know anything about any of them. But so-and-so, who I do know something about, says they like this guy. Okay, that matters.
Do political endorsements persuade you to vote for a particular candidate? Your final answer?
I'm going to say yes, somewhat.
Yes, somewhat, really?
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Brad?
I thought about this a lot, not from a politician. It doesn't matter if somebody endorses somebody, but like you were saying, if a family member or somebody that I care about or somebody who's opinion
That's not an endorsement, though.
No.
Your mom doesn't call you and be like, I just want you to know I'm officially endorsing Bobby Kennedy.
You ever seen Brad's mom's press releases, though?
No, that's true. I haven't.
They're
I don't know what I'm
top-notch.
talking
They're
about.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letterhead and everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Home on the range, right at the top there.
Like actual endorsements, celebrity endorsements.
Celebrity endorsements
Athlete
don't
endorsements.
ever do anything. I think they sort of give an air of cultural relevance, but do they do anything for people personally? I just don't know.
Yeah, they annoy me.
They annoy me too, especially when you find out how much they're getting paid.
Bill Maher was just talking with Billy Bush on his Club Random podcast about Hollywood celebrities. He's like, they're incredibly talented. These celebrities are very skilled and talented at what they do, but they are able to interpret other people's words into a story that is way different than like an in-depth thought on any particular issue that might meet the moment in a news headline. And that's also not to say that if you are a very talented celebrity or actor, actress, whatever, that you're not capable of thinking that way. But you're not entitled to persuade people because you are a participant in being able to deliver a performance that makes your opinion on something more valuable or more connected.
Just that you have the platform.
Yeah.
That's all it indicates
the
at all.
reach. I'm going to say never. I'm between not usually and never, but I can't think of anybody who's ever swayed me one way or the other to vote for somebody. Do political endorsements persuade you to vote for a particular candidate? 3% of you, that's our favorite 3%, say yes, significantly. Yes, somewhat, 12%. Never, where I'm at, is 35%. Did you say not usually, Brad?
Yeah.
Not usually for you, and you said yes, somewhat, Ryan?
I said somewhat.
Not usually, 50%. Half of the people say not usually. Thanks for voting today. We will see you at the 25th anniversary celebration at Lit Cigar Lounge tonight. Mark Reardon going to take it over from here, and I'm going to go sit down with him in a couple hours to have a conversation. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. You want to hire Matt Hayes because you want to hire the best. That's generally speaking how this works. Matt Hayes has decades of experience in foundation repair right here in the St. Louis bi-state region. If you're thinking about getting your basement looked at, finally, the water, you've had enough of it. This last rain weekend that we had probably reminded you, gosh, I really need to get that done. You're holding your breath in between those rainy parts of the season where it just creeps in, it takes over. You've got that area in your basement that's kind of blocked out because the water gets to it. You don't want it to ruin anything. You need a solution, and you need a solution that you can trust. I encourage you to reach out to Matt Hayes, 314-227-9636. Call Matt, have him come out and inspect to determine the property repair that is needed. If it's your foundation, if it's the waterproofing of the basement, if it's leveling out concrete in your foundation, Matt's the guy to call. 314-227-9636, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.